Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so a while back, we went through the G1blog here mainly for their universal DMC scaling. For some reason, Control F is not working. There we go. For their universal thing here for DMC. Now, personally, we've already gone through this on a live stream. If you guys really want us to make a video about it, I can make a video about it later. But someone recently asked me about the actual Nero and Hellboy portion. Now, I'm not 100% familiar with Hellboy, but I did make a Nero vs. Hellboy video back in the day. And these guys claim to be more knowledgeable about the situation. So we're going to be going through, I am joined today by Mangler and Devil. Unfortunately, Kyle is gone right now. We're probably making a second version of him and I'll just release them simultaneously or something. And, yeah. So, Mangler.
Kyle edition.
Kyle edition. Yeah, so Hellboy here. I don't know anything about Hellboy. How much do you guys know about Hellboy?
And there's basic backstory.
Okay, so
I've seen the two movies and read like a little bit of like one comic book novel thing.
all right, Devil, what are you looking at for this?
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider myself fairly knowledgeable, so I'm going to take their knowledge as if they're like telling the truth and they're completely accurate.
Yeah, so this is us. This is us trying to be as where we're trying to just assume they're 100% accurate here. Just to clarify for a minute, even if they're like super wrong on the DMC portion, a lot of scalers get DMC wrong, so that's not entirely indicative of whether or not they can actually scale the other verse correctly. It's just that kind of occurs. So he's connected to the BRPD. His right hand, the right hand of doom. Great Spirit Anima. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'll talk about this and in like the other section. Cause like, so this is just a background. I don't know how relevant this is to his abilities, or if they're gonna talk about it separately. Command Hell's army bring about the apocalypse.
This is just background. I mean, this is something that like Death Battle does.
Then we have Fortuna here, or Nero's. They're not mentioning the fact that Kirie is actually a stepsister / girlfriend. That needs to be changed. Needs to be corrected immediately. That's important lore for those of you who are unaware. Let me actually move this camera a little bit. Dante attacks to order the sword. Blah blah blah. Credo dies. Nero rescued by Dante. Order disbanded. Actually, is the order actually disbanded? Because I thought that was still operational. It's just like Kirie basically controls them at this point.
They do technically, like most of their staff, we'll call them, are kind of dead. I mean, it's not really accurate to say like the Fortuna citizens are all like members of the Order of the Sword, because the Order of the Sword is like their military / religious like government. Like every Fortuna citizen is not technically part of the Order of the Sword.
Nonsense.
Yeah, Kirie was just like Kirie and Nero are like in charge of what's going on, and basically the orphanage.
Because the base of operations is the orphanage. Never forget that. Okay. So then this leads to DMC5. I don't really think I need to give you guys a recap.
This is already wrong. It is not. There's not 2 months since the beginning of the game. It's 1 month actually. V meets him 1 month after his birth. They already messed up.
I did want to clarify more specifically that does matter somewhat for specifics, but I doubt they'll bring up the specifics.
I doubt they'll understand why.
Okay, so Nero returns 1 month later to hunt demons after the prologue, which I believe is accurate. Let's see here. Indestructible Van, that is correct. Basically, just DMC5 recapped here. Don's just the biggest twist Nero's ever felt in his life. That's because Nero's a fucking idiot and didn't put 2 and 2 together, but whatever. Yeah, so
Give him a break.
dude, come on. This boy has the blood of Sparta. There are 2 people who could be my father, and I'm shocked one of those people is my father.
I mean, if you want to take Deadly Fortune's interpretation, Sanctius flat out tells him that he is the grandson of Sparta, because the son of Sparta came to Fortuna 17 years ago, and he must have left a child behind. And then he just asserts that Nero must be that child.
Oh, gee, I wonder if it's because they have such similar phenotypes.
Well, that conversation never happens in game, unfortunately. As a massive inconsistency with the plot.
Massive inconsistency. Nero probably wasn't paying attention.
I was like, what?
Okay, Nero fizzles Burrow's battle and confronts Virgil, hoping to stop the twins from killing each other. The emotion allowing him to grow back a human arm in place of his missing one and accessing his full Devil Trigger form. He succeeds after defeating a weakened Virgil. I want to clarify that. But there was still a matter with the Clive fought. The twins decide to head down to the Demon World to cut the tree down, and then they seal the portal, trapping them there. They're not trapped. Yamato can get them out. Now,
how did they even make that mistake?
No, so this is a problem that this is a problem a lot of people have when it comes to DMC5's ending, because people who know the lore are like, they have Yamato, they're not trapped down there. They logically should not be trapped down there.
Even if you assert that the demon world is sealed from the inside by Yamato, okay, they can break the seal with Yamato. Or they can just decide to go through it without breaking the seal, because Yamato can literally do whatever it wants for the user. And you think Virgil can't do that? Like, get out of here.
We actually get an example in the DMC novel of a shard of Yamato creating holes between the human world and the demon world, so...
Like, Sparta's barriers were still up, by the way. The Caliphos hadn't started tearing them down. And it was still like, yoink?
Yeah, so just to be clear, they are not, like...
Also, Sparta's barriers are completely gone now. By the events of 5. Like, they are completely gone.
Nero hunts down any remaining demons, no legendary Dark Knight or Alpha and Omega. You can just say God to stand in his way. Okay, so equipment now. So this is where we're getting into the more juicy bits. Hellboy, Right-Handed Doom. Hellboy's signature oversized red gauntlet, originally belonging to one of the gods' great spirits by the name of Anum. It was grafted on the Hellboy that birthed by his father, Azazel. I don't know if that was ancient. Is that how Azazel actually spelled?
With the second Z is supposed to be after the A, not before it. I don't know if they spelled that correctly.
No, that's just a typo issue then, because this thing had a lot of typos when I remember going to the Universal section.
I was gonna say Azazel is not spelled like that.
A Lord of Hell who ruled over all witches, and said father had also cut his original arm off. The hand size and weight allows Hellboy to shatter stone with total ease and knock out any unfortunate souls who happen to get in his way. It is also completely immune to pain and virtually indestructible, making it an effective shield for bullets, paralyzing venom, and any other attacks that would otherwise hurt Hellboy's normal flesh. Alright. The Samaritan?
The Samaritan.
Nah.
Excellent name for a pistol, to be honest. I actually really like that.
Handed to him by the hero, the Torch of Liberty. Hellboy's main weapon of choice is this large hand cannon. While Hellboy uses a variety of pistols in the comics, his pistol is consistent, or is a constant among all of Hellboy continuities, both in design and power. Being a 22mm 4-round revolver, this gun has an easy time blasting through monsters in the same way it can blast through stone pillars or walls. The shells for this weapon are made by Hellboy himself, one of which is made of holy water, clover leaves, silver shavings, and white oak, made specifically for killing all manner of unholy demons and creatures. Hellboy on occasion has been known to also use silver bullets. This weapon has been attributed by Hellboy to act as a cannon, especially due to its ability to absolutely obliterate its target. In the Hellboy: The Science of Evil video game, wait, how composite do they get here?
They say it's written by both Mike Mignolan and Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro. Hellboy has several different rounds available to shoot from his gun. Okay, so he has just dumb lead, regular lead force, lily that grew along the river Styx, flowers of death that unbind and unmake. So he has, like, I don't know, fucking matter destruction, I guess.
Yeah.
Grenade, magic fireflies to light magic lanterns.
Wait, what the fuck is the charge for if he already has a grenade? Because this one's says it's an explosive round. I guess one explodes after a timer and the other explodes on contact. Why would you have two types of explosive bullets?
I'm sure if we looked at the game, it would make more sense.
Sure.
Splinter, a collection of holy relics and magical shrapnel. Just spray, prayer included. Alright, so like a holy bullet. The salt, they don't turn to
Probably
pillars, but if they're
for,
fast enough, it doesn't matter.
it's probably for werewolves. I don't know if werewolves actually exist in this cosmology, but like if
No,
you
he
have
already has silver bullets above, so these would be different bullets. Why would holy things work on werewolves?
like, depends on the
You're a terrible
cosmology.
monster hunter, you know that? I can't believe you watch Supernatural and you're over here saying
I
holy
watched
stuff.
15 seasons. Don't tell me what I don't.
Ignite, gross but effective, so I guess you just burn your target. And crystal, a fused piece of tentacle hurting crystal. Don't know why it works, but I don't care either. Okay, that's fine.
Well, okay, then we won't.
Big baby. This giant 6-round explosive shotgun can fire off 2 rounds at a time. Oh, well, there's an neural connection. Resulting in a large explosion wherever it's fired. Being as large as it is, this weapon is big enough to be held in Hellboy's right hand. Hellboy used this weapon to quickly take down a kaiju-sized forest god in the second Hellboy film. Is that referring to the live-action Hellboy movie?
Yep.
I was gonna say, because I actually have not. So I've seen Hellboy 1. I did not watch Hellboy 2.
I believe it's the Golden Army.
Yeah, I never saw the Golden Army. I saw the first one. I thought was fine. The Golden Army I've never seen.
I never watched it in like one sitting. Hellboy's always one of those movies where I like get up and like leave to go get food.
That's not a good thing.
I forget to come back. Well, it's not that it isn't interesting. Like I just forget to come back.
I just forget to come back because I'm just so uninterested.
I always watch it on like cable when there's like a television break. I'm like, I don't want to wait for this to come back.
Actually, you know what? Since we're going through this right now, I'll just go ahead and say right now, none of these actual like pistols so far, none of these weapons are gonna do anything to Nero.
I would also point out that like you need to have a little bit of versatility. So like sure there's probably some gameplay application of this, but if we look at this list right here as far as his bullets, we have a dumb lead. Maybe if I take the best possible interpretation based on the description exclusively, flowers of death that unbind and unmake, so like death manipulation bullets at the best possible interpretation.
Well, it could be bullets like that like matter decomposition or whatever.
Sure, because they unmake and unbind, I guess.
Yeah.
That wouldn't do anything to Nero. Dante's bullets, even at the time of like one's novel, can molecularize you and itemize you. So like this would do shit to Nero. Grenades and charge are just explosives, nothing. Fireflies to light magic lanterns. So he has a couple magic bullets. So did Nero. So magic doesn't do anything to him. Assault doesn't do anything to him. Crystal, that apparently Hellboy doesn't know why it works or doesn't know how. So
it says tentacle hurting crystal, so I'm assuming he fights like some sort of tentacle demon.
It fires tentacle porn.
That's not gonna be effective against Nero. I'm sorry.
It's just like I'm saving myself for Kitty.
There's nothing the tentacles can do to him that Kirie hasn't already done.
This is true.
But yeah, no. So just to clarify, none of these weapons so far are making really a dent in Nero. And now we get Excalibur, probably the first decent weapon on this list. Throughout Hellboy's run, Hellboy has always had a hidden knack wielding all types of swords or weapons, be it random swords, axes, or daggers. This is because Hellboy's mother, Sarah Hughes, is the long-lost relative to King Arthur. Yes, that King Arthur, meaning that yes, Hellboy is indeed the rightful ruler of Great Britain, king among men. Okay, that's... He had a mother?
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. Why are you saying what? Is that explaining the Golden fucking Army?
I'm pretty sure it's like confirmed that he's like technically half human.
Well, so it's like in the movie, at least from the one where I saw, he just appeared in a portal when the...
I don't think it's ever confirmed he's like the son of King Arthur. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Having always felt the need to wield a weapon and ultimately choosing a pistol to be his one-hand weapon of choice, Hellboy would find out the secrets of his family history to Morgan Le Fay and take this magic blade in his fight against Nimue and her hellish forces. Being a holy weapon, this magical sword is capable of cutting down demonic foes with ease, like Nemu's champion. In the Hellboy 2019 reboot, this sword can be charged with Hellboy's flames for added power. It also gives Hellboy access to an army of hell and an undead army from King Arthur's rule. Okay, so you can...
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wait, hang on. So how composite is this fucking thing actually supposed to be? Like...
Did they just do that because Nero doesn't have any crossover examples?
Oh, nonsense. I think he appeared in this one mobile game called Less Cloudy. I think we can make something happen here.
So I'm just gonna say, being a holy weapon, having the statement that this magical sword is capable of cutting demonic foes to ease, yeah, Hellboy's demons. DMC demons don't operate by the same rules of logic that most demons in like fiction operate with. So I would even go as far as to say most demons in fiction don't consistently operate the way that other demons in fiction do. Because usually the energy source and the things that encompass like their being and their existence is different from fiction to fiction. This is something that like I'm gonna go off on a rant here for a little bit,
Well,
like
that's
two
fine.
minutes.
Gives Kyle more time.
So generally in fiction, when talking about divine beings, it's important to note that like divine and holy items and beings have more or less the same interpretation from fiction to fiction to fiction, in that they don't really have any differing side effects. They do more or less the same types of abilities where they're intended to purge like evil objects or things that are dark or whatever, usually
Yeah.
demonic. Whereas demon ones are very versatile in how they're told in the story.
For some reason.
For some reason, I don't know why, but it's whereas divine ones are pretty stale. They're always more or less the same thing, no matter which fiction you're going to, which is why having a weapon that works specifically on demons is only applicable if demons in that verse have an actual weakness to holy weapons.
Which, to be fair, is usually the case.
Yes, but it's not the case in DMC.
Well, hang on a minute. I'm just going to go ahead and ask the question that I already know is going to pop up in the comment section. What about the holy water?
Yeah, so you want to explain that?
Well, I was just going to say that technically divine and demonic energy in DMC is kind of interchangeable. So it's not that holy water is more effective against demons, it's that it's just a blast of energy concentrated in an area. Because
Also,
Beowulf has divine powers, confirmed by his descriptions. And so
so
does Sparta, technically.
the way to explain this in the best way is that demons in DMC obviously have demonic energy. Their energy can become, due to the way that demonic power works, since demonic power encompasses whatever the user wants. That includes the properties of the system itself. Um, Meaning, if the person wants to be an angel or what they interpret to be a holy being, their demonic energy will become divine. It doesn't matter if that makes sense to you or not. That is literally how it works in the canon. This is why we have examples of creatures like the Fallen or the Pride, the original Pride demons, and why, like in Three's manga, they're referred to as angels. Because they actually just want to be viewed as like a holy object, and why all the people who built the Temenaguru Tower view them that way. That's why the tower, Temenaguru, is meant to be like an interpretation of the Tower of Babel, where it's like it's literally meant to be a pathway to heaven, because all of them view them as.
We've also got Angelo Credo and Angelo Agnes and the Pope for 4.
Oh yeah, no, all the this is also why all of the Order of the Sword members would also have divine powers, because they literally assume that they're followers of God.
This is also
So
why their appearances appear more, or at least Credos and Sanctuses to an extent, appear more angelic.
yeah, the Ascension ceremony is stated by Agnes in Deadly Fortune to just it resonates with the personality and the wishes of the person who takes it. So Kratos' personality and power, so his appearance will be much in tune with his personality. And he literally believes he's an angel, so he would have actual divine power. So this is kind of why, like, how this relates to Nero. Well, Nero's not even like a majority of his like existence isn't even demon. He's only 25% demon. He's mostly human.
Well, that's what we're assuming because we don't know if his mother's like a fucking demon. Because
Well,
she's most likely not.
We're operating under the assumption that he is mostly human because his mother was from Fortuna, so she's most likely 100% human.
You never know
He's
what
also
happens one night,
well,
or a
hang
few
on.
drinks.
He's also from Sparta's bloodline, which means technically he has some divinity in his blood as well as humanity. So a holy sword is not going to do anything to him.
Well, yeah. So like
Like,
basically, I guess the point we're trying to make here is that a holy sword is not going to just negate all of his AP and everything. It's going to act like a normal energy, so like a
yeah,
normal energy
so
attack to
so if
Nero.
it doesn't have good abilities, if it's only like gimmick, we'll call it that, is just like being effective against demons that have bad resistances, then it's not going to.
I like I say, bad resistance and not just resistance to the divine. No, they have bad resistances. They
Well,
can't
yeah,
resist their
because
actual opposite energy source.
when you jump between like so many different source materials that depict demons not just as the opposite of like angels and have a specific weakness to angels where they can actually like brawl with them, you start realizing it's kind of redundant that they're all like just getting affected by holy stuff.
Yeah.
But
So again, like just for DMC, we're talking about this here. So just for Nero, this sword is not going to be like a super big threat to
hey,
him.
I've got some other fictions where it doesn't work either, but yeah, yeah, it doesn't work effectively in DMC either.
All right. So let's move on to the Crown of the Apocalypse. Whenever Hellboy activates his Devil Heart, so close.
Mhm.
Upon his brow appears a crown of fire, meant to grant the user immense firepower and wisdom. This crown is enough to make any lower demon rival the power of Anug Unrama?
Let's see what that means.
I think that one's pronounced Anum Rama.
Dude, anyone who's watching this is gonna know I can't pronounce for shit.
I wish I understood what all of this means.
This scan apparently is him scaling to this dude because of the fire crown that he doesn't even have on. Oh, no. The other demon has the crown on. And the other demon has the power amp. I just don't understand what the fuck any of this means.
Let's just go back.
Okay. Lowly demon by the name of Yalak took the crown from Hellboy and used its powers to create the blade of fire. Okay, so hang on. There we go. Oh, okay, so the sword's supposed to be able to cut off Hellboy's arm. Okay. And what the heck is that? Hang on, I'll go back. Sorry about that. There we go. And other canons of Hellboy show him capable of doing the same thing. This also gives Hellboy an aura of fire. Okay, that's...
Fire? Okay, so fire's not going to be very effective. I don't know if I need to point this out, but the first boss that Nero fights in like the game, because we're kind of skipping over Dante. It's the conqueror of the fire hell, you know, burial. And Nero decides to have like a little like sword poking contest with Red Queen, and he's completely and totally fine. He doesn't get burned either. He does mention in Deadly Fortune that the flames are a little hot, but he's able to stand in the vicinity of like hellfire and he's completely fine. He can also actually touch and interact with hellfire. Like a lot of people take that state, like that scene, and say Red Queen's about to burn off. In the novel, he actually brawls with Burial using the Red Queen for most of the fight. He only finishes him off with the Bringer. So the Red Queen is strong enough to tangle with enemies that are literally protected by a barrier of magic hellfire.
Well, this would be consistent too, since in-game the Red Queen's fires are hot enough to be like the Frost weakness, which would have to scale the flames to fucking Ifrit.
He also states that his fire is only slightly the fire coming off of the red, which is the Red Queen, is only slightly inferior to the flames of Burial.
Yeah, no, well, fuck, that's a great statement.
I know.
Okay, so just to be clear here, obviously if Hellboy's AP is like fucking like way higher, his fire is gonna be more effective, but they haven't given any AP scaling yet, so we can talk like this. Veselia's gifts. I have no clue what to expect from this. Because that's a comb. Veselia's comb. A comb granted to Hellboy by Veselia the Beautiful. Hellboy used this comb against Kush the Deathless, which grew an entire forest when used. Doing so pierces and traps its target. In the Injustice 2 video game, Hellboy is given the comb as an available special in the game, and with it he is able to summon roots and trees from the ground. Okay, so it's just plant manipulation. No, Nero beats that after gaining the Echidna's fucking absorption. Or would you like to add anything there, Mangler? Hello? Oh, he's like that. Oh no. I can't mute the video. Is he back? No! Okay, so like, unfortunately with this new software, I can't just stop the fucking recording halfway through. Oh, that's gonna be terrible. Oh no. I wish there was an actual pause button here, but there's not. Alright, so while he's trying to make a recovery, let's continue here a little bit. Wait, hang on, let me try leaving and rejoining. Okay, Mangler, can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you the whole time.
Okay, great. So that fixed that problem. Let me go back to streaming.
Okay, so, I guess double left for some reason.
Well, I mean, he is working right now.
Understandable.
So, you have anything to add about the plant portion before we get to the handkerchief?
I was gonna say, can you click on the link that says pierces and traps its target? I want to see what they're using exactly.
Quite literally, it pierced someone with plants.
Oh. That's kind of lame. I was expecting something way more. Continue. No, there's nothing to offer here.
Veselia's handkerchief. A blue rag that is also granted to Hellboy by Veselia in his fight against Koshki. Whatever, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Using this item brings forth a massive wave of water and floods the entire base of a mountain, which drowns Koshki and drags him further down the roots of the World Tree. Wait, I'm recording a video. Yeah, so he just like creates a flood and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Water manipulation.
Yep, just a massive flood of water. It comes from a handkerchief.
So Nero can breathe underwater. Yeah, alright. Next.
Moving on. Vulcan explosives. Oh, I didn't realize we were getting Star Trek in this. Hellboy has had a knack for carrying various types of explosives when fighting the supernatural, because while holy artifacts are always a must when fighting the various demons and cryptids on the field, good old-fashioned incendiary gunpowder does the job just as well. Wait. If his supernatural beings can be hurt by normal fucking grenades, whatever. Don't mind me.
So the Vulcan 40 is a hand grenade with enough force to take out a pile of elephants. Okay.
Do you want to see the picture?
Sure.
Wait, it doesn't even show him taking out the elephants!
Enough to stop a pile of elephants. We're gonna assume they're telling the truth. Because it is, like, I think this is a guy who developed it. I'm assuming that's the... What's the next one?
The Vulcan 50 is strong enough to take out the top of a mountain.
It's in the same scan.
Yes, it is.
A specific amount of force.
Oh, dang again? Fuck.
Dude.
It's not my fault. I have to, I get...
Literally just copy it and then paste another window. That's the exact copy of that one.
Look.
Do it right now. There you go.
Nope, apparently this link doesn't work.
No, just copy the link at the top.
Oh, you're saying open? No, I'll just be sure to click like fucking open new tab for scans again, because like.
Haven't you favorite it? Just favorite it like right now.
No, because it doesn't take that long. I literally can just fucking like go back to it by typing in G1 on the search bar.
Whatever.
Okay, Concussion Grenade.
Wait. There's one more. Vulcan 65. While not explicitly given any specified amount of force, going by the number of the other Vulcan types is likely significantly more powerful. Okay, so a hand grenade that's enough to take out a pile of elephants is not enough to hurt Nero. A hand grenade that's strong enough to take out the top of a mountain is not enough to hurt Nero. And a hand grenade that is just significantly more powerful than the top of a mountain is still not enough to hurt Nero. Moving on.
Very well. Concussion Grenade is left over from the Rolling Hill Cemetery job 6 years ago. A standard stun grenade. This is not gonna. Hellboy used this to explode the insides of a frog creature with ease. Let me see.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Wait, it's a stun grenade though. That's a pretty shitty stun grenade.
I have that. I actually have that source material where that comes from.
Oh wow.
There's a frog fetish in that fucking book. You would not believe.
A Spectre Bomb. A grenade meant specifically evaporate. Okay, here we go. Getting some good shit now. A grenade meant specifically to vaporize ectoplasmic beings or apparitions. Hellboy used this to take out a circus tent full of spirits. While not super effective against living beings, it still gives off a considerably large explosion. Never mind. Ooh. I guess he only killed. Like I guess it unironically only kills ghosts.
Mm. Okay. See, the attacks in DMC can target the soul and the body, so they're indiscriminate when attacking spirits or otherwise. They don't have to be specifically designed for one application and be completely useless against the other.
It's almost like they have better weapons and abilities. Oh. Okay, Brimstone Grenade. Granted to Hellboy in the Injustice 2 video game, Hellboy leaves a grenade full of fire and brimstone or heaves. Okay, this is not going to skill us anywhere.
Is that like... Is his appearance in Injustice 2 even canon?
No. Well, I don't even think it's canon in Injustice. No, like, again, half this shit is just pure composite. Which is why I'm so confused. Like, where's the logic here? Because, I mean, is it just a fully composite version of the characters?
Wait, doesn't Nero have stuff from Teppen and SMT?
He would get SMT scaling, but they're probably not going to include SMT.
For obvious reasons. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, so a little weird how they're doing this, but okay.
I mean, sneaky.
Charms and talismans. These are just magical artifacts. Wither coin. A coin meant to ward off evil spirits. This coin prevents possession by demonic beings. Pretty good. In the Injustice 2 video game, when active, this coin can lessen damage made on Hellboy. That is not something you can even viably fucking use.
If its intent in the official source material is to prevent possession by demonic beings and ward off evil spirits, and it's a completely different effect in a video game that's not canon, you're not taking.
Grippy's Charm. A coin meant to ward off evil and demonic presences. So he has two to do the same thing. Using his charm against Garach, a shapeshifting fairy demon, this charm shrunk the demon down when Hellboy carried it in his stone hand and proceeded to bash Garach over the head with it, chasing him off. Okay, so
the video game.
So it's size manipulation? Okay, seriously, whoever actually fucking made this, you guys need to fucking put the scan of the effect happening.
Also need to put the scans around the one you're trying to show to provide proper context.
Fuck! Okay, so we just have to assume he's telling the truth, or whoever wrote this is telling the truth.
So, ward off evil and demonic presences. So that won't stop the bringer or demonic power at all because it literally just becomes whatever it wants. It like demonic power is an ever-changing property that doesn't follow logic. Like the only logic it follows is itself, which is to say, its properties and abilities change based on the user.
Self-actualization is
Yeah.
a very big thing in DMC when it comes to demonic power. So let's say hypothetically demonic energy doesn't work on Hellboy. Let's say that Nero could just like by just sheer force of will, his demonic energy could change into like divine energy and it would work just fine.
Or just more realistically, if Nero just starts, if he has the will to want to win, if he wants to fight, demonic power will start granting him things in reality. Like, for example, his bullets might become more accurate, or might do more damage, or he'll just get faster, or he'll get new abilities. Like, just for free. He won't have to do anything. He just has to exist.
Sounds about right. Also, unfortunately, again, we don't get any evidence for how these coins work, so we don't even know if they work like as an aura around him, or if only the coin itself specifically works.
We also don't know if they're passive or they need to be activated.
Because the second one looks active. The first one looks like just passive possession resistance.
Because this one he has to hold it up, so I'm assuming well, first of all, if that's true, Nero can just shoot it. Like Nero has bullets that are meant to be like anti-demon bullets. Like he can infuse them with like demonic energy, but he can also shoot you with non-demonic things. So he would just okay, whatever. We'll get down to it when we do the verdict thing.
Malami's bell. A bell handed to Hellboy by the African witch doctor, can't pronounce it. In the comics, this bell is meant to ward off evil spirits, similar to other artifacts under Hellboy's possession. In the Injustice 2 video game, this bell can be activated prior to falling in battle to resurrect Hellboy. Okay, I'm going to say this now. If that doesn't appear in the comics, you can't fucking use it.
Also, it wouldn't matter if you did, but...
I mean, he would just come back and lose. Actually, how does it work in Hellboy? Never mind.
Also, Yamato can negate resurrection as well.
Broom's Rosary. A rosary given to Hellboy by his late father, Professor Broom. This rosary, other than giving Hellboy the ability to hurt demonic creatures, can give him resistance to attacks. As seen in the Injustice 2 video game. Oh my god!
Are we scaling Injustice 2 Hellboy, or are we scaling canon Hellboy? Because, like, every single, like, description is like, as seen in the Injustice 2 video game.
So, every description is resist demons, but does an actual combat-based ability in Injustice 2.
So are you telling me the video game the non-canon video game that's not made by the same developers, did a better job than the actual, like, creators of his fiction?
Well, that's what happens when you don't write for versus debating.
Fair enough.
Alright, nails. Hellboy has access to several types of nails, from iron to cursed. In Injustice 2, the cursed nails can cause damage to an opponent over time. He also has a cursed nail that can open a portal to hell, preventing the opponent from being able to walk on it. Okay, so he has... Wait, hang on. Wait. Why are these nails... Is this only from Injustice?
Open a portal to hell. You picked the wrong one.
No. I clicked several types of nails to see, like, what the nails actually look like, but there's no comic scan. There's only Injustice 2.
Go to the bottom one.
It's Injustice 2!
God damn it.
Okay, I gotta be honest here. This is a little sus. Okay, so iron nails do something. I know that iron is it iron or is it... No, iron's not considered a pure metal, is it?
I'm not sure.
Well,
it hurts more than stone, I guess.
I was going to say for the record, okay, so we see what they do in combat, but there's no way to accurately use any of these in the versus debate scenario. So lessen damage, receives a damage buff to all of his moves. You can't quantify either of these. He has a resurrection, okay? Give him resistance to attacks.
Also, that one has to be activated prior to you falling. So, like, that's not even like a passive resurrection. You have to activate it in battle, or
Well,
you.
now I'm curious. What's the time frame? Like, do you have to activate it like a couple seconds before you fall?
They don't mention it apparently.
Like, can you start the fight activating the bell and you'll just be fine as long as you die within like the next 10 minutes?
Is there like a time limit? Do I have to like wait? Like,
Do you get resurrected? Hang on. Let me see. Do you get resurrected to a full health or no? I'm not a big fan of Doom Eternal. Wait. Okay, so is this gonna show him dying or what? It's not. Okay, well that's not. Can't really do much there. Nope, 1/4 bar, activate before death. Okay, so Devil knows it, but apparently the actual guy who made the fucking blog decided not to put the information in. Okay. I'm starting to wonder how much time was actually put into this blog.
Red Queen, let's go.
Okay. A turbocharged demon cleaver. That's wrong. That's wrong. Which is modeled after the German Grobes Messer. I don't care if it's accurate or not. A version of the Order's anti-demon weapon. What do they have? What's their scan? DMC5. Wonderful. Equipped with a combustion engine, using the added power and propulsion to his sword swings, revving the hilt like a motorcycle, activates the Exceed system, which coats the blade in flames to set foes ablaze. What's the scan? No scan exists. This and a few other modifications make Red Queen comparable to Devil Arms of Power, despite it not being one, and nearly impossible for anyone but Nero to wield.
Well, actually, it's impossible for human beings to wield because it requires such physical strength to use. Like, normal humans cannot use it.
But like Dante or Virgil can pick up the sword and use it just fine.
Well, actually, not even normal humans. Even the Order of the Sword, like knights, with their ascension ceremonies, can't use it. Maybe like Credo, but none of the basic knights can, even with their modifications.
Blue Rose, a heavily modded version of the Smith & Wesson Model 500, crafted by Nero himself, capable of shooting 2 bullets with 1 pull of the trigger. The differences are 6-shot cylinder as opposed to the original 5-shot cylinder, extra barrel underneath, got targeting sights to reduce recoil and muzzle, port in to reduce recoil and muzzle. Split lag between first and second bullets. Thanks to that, the first bullet breaks the enemy's armor while the second pierces through the damaged surface and inflicts actual damage. You know, I'm no genius, but if you have 2 barrels, one on top and one below, how can you even hit the same spot with them?
Magic.
You laugh. You joke, but...
I know, there's actually just canon.
Blue Rose can also shoot 1 bullet at a time. Why would you want to do that?
But when you want to be ammo efficient.
Oh, yeah, with Mr. fucking Infinite Ammo over there really fucking struggling out there, I say.
Sometimes some of us just like reloading, you know, just leave me alone.
No. Alright, let's continue. Its shots can also be charged with demonic energy for a higher damage input. Okay. I'm surprised there was no game scan for that one. This 6-chamber revolver fires bullets, 2 bullets at a time from upper and lower barrels. Good for long-range attacks to keep foes in check and combo strings going in. It also shows Nero to fire special multi-hit bullets with a powerful color-up skill. Color Up allows Nero to fire 3 rounds of bullet shots at once where his bullet gauge is full. He also has a high shot that allows him to stun an enemy with a multi-shot hit. Devil Bringer. Nero's former right arm that was torn off by Virgil. Okay, so let's get some clarity here. That happens at DMC5. He originally just had the Devil Bringer after something happened.
Wait, so... Are they giving him DMC4's Devil Bringer? Or are they giving him, like, the true form of the Bringer?
Well, we have Devil Breakers down below, so I think they're giving him both. Which again, that's a weird
That
composite.
that doesn't make any sense because he has no need for the Devil Bringer arm if he is the true form of the Bringer.
No.
Just use DMC. Literally, just use DMC5 Nero and give him Yamato. Like that's it.
Mangler, every time he hears something, give them Yamato. You can give Nero these powers, but it's just kind of weird giving him the Breaker or the Devil Bringer since he doesn't really need it at this point. But let's continue. Nero's former right arm that was torn off by Virgil. The arm possesses superhuman strength, which it can also manifest through a larger spectral arm. True. It is also capable of absorbing items of power, such as Yamato or the Evil Legacy, and manifesting their power. Okay, that's actually pretty accurate, but watch them not make it combat applicable for some reason. It was also extremely durable, capable of no selling hits from Dante, which were giving Nero himself trouble. From what I understand, according to what Devils told me about Deadly Fortune, the Bringer feels fear at Dante's attacks, if I remember correctly.
Well, technically, it feels fear from Rebellion specifically.
Oh my god.
That's because Rebellion's actually got some decent passive hacks. That's not the Bringer's fault.
It's not the Bringer's fault that it's a little bitch.
Well, it's still able to tank those attacks. It just started getting really afraid as soon as it started hitting those attacks.
The arm can do feats of supernatural strength, which Nero often uses to his advantage when fighting demons. You don't say. Nero regularly uses it to move or throw objects much larger than him, a technique that is known as Buster. The arm can also be used to pull objects towards Nero, snatch, or him towards them instead. Hellbound. Well, to be fair, doesn't Hellbound only work on the fucking orbs in the sky that don't actually move?
No, it works on enemies that are also heavier. That can't be pulled to Nero directly like the Angelos.
Fair enough. Buster arm has several different varieties shown here. And a link to the wiki. Why didn't you just link the wiki for the Hellboy shit? Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Moving on. Clearly more research was done on one side than the other. That's all I'm saying.
Injustice 2 carries.
The Devilbringer is able to absorb certain key items and use their power to grant itself new abilities. These items are obtained either by finding them within special magical pillars or by taking them from specific bosses. These key items include... Hey,
we're missing one.
Yeah, where's the Chrono Key?
Actually, where's... Hang on. There's several ones here. Where's the Angel Talisman? Where's the Animus Mercury?
Yo, for reals!
Animus Mercury gives him the ability to absorb... confirms that he can absorb alchemy directly and can animate life. That is a big one.
So for context, in the game, the item we're referring to is the one that lets you give life to the gyro pillars. It lets them move around and shit. It breathes life into them.
So it literally allows him to animate non-physical objects that don't have a soul or any form of existence. And he can literally just give them, like, life.
So just to clarify, they're also missing the Chrono Key as well, or the Key of Chronos.
Yep. Which it's the Key of Chronos actually. The Chronos Slicer is the thing that it's used on.
All right, let me go to the Key of Chronos.
The Key of Chronos specifically states that it's just look up the description.
I'm trying to find it. Fuck off. There it is. Key of Chronos. Where the fuck is it?
Specifically states that it manipulates the fabric of time and space.
Here, so here's the actual description. Possesses dense magical energy, needs to manipulate the very fabric of time and space. He absorbs that, and then he gives it up during the end there, so... yeah, and here's the Anima Mercury. An artificial soul made using alchemy breathes life into the animate. So he can make inanimate objects come to life.
Via alchemy as well. Also, he can absorb alchemy directly.
Yeah, so that's just a little fucking weird that they don't give him 2 items that would give him access to more powers. Although, I already know they're going to argue specifically that the Key of Chronos, Nero only uses it in the box, therefore he can't use its power outside of the box, perhaps.
I'm just going to say, Mal, that also the Evil Legacy does not just grant Snatch and Hellbend. It grants a new power to him. That's actually what the specific statement was. The Rizolka Corpse granting Auto Search, that doesn't mean anything to, like, that doesn't mean anything to a person that like doesn't hasn't played like DMC, but what it actually allows him to do is seek out like red orbs. And that's kind of important because that means he can basically sense and find out where demon's blood is.
Yeah, because I was gonna say because red orbs are demon blood, as confirmed in multiple games.
So that would effectively mean that he can technically sense the presence of demons through the bringer. In addition to being able to sense like their souls through the bringer, he can also just sense where their blood is.
Now, before someone decides inevitably to say, well, demons are different in DMC, so why does this apply to other demons? Demons in DMC are also just like concepts and shit and ideas. So just being able to sense them basically means you can like sense really anything within reason.
Yeah, so if you can sense demons in DMC properly, you're going to be able to find any demons in any fiction.
Oh, hang on. Kyle's online. Oh, Kyle, can you join us?
The Sephirotic fruit grants the ability to destroy trees. I mean, okay.
No.
Sure.
No, that's how they put strange trees specifically. So they're already kind of setting up the idea that it only works on a specific type of tree.
It actually affects parasitic ones, being in Echidna's jungle. So, strange trees is a weird description. Whatever.
Whatever. I mean, whatever. Alright. Aegis Shield grants hold.
This is true. You can hold an object up and use it as a meat shield.
And that's all it does. It has no other powers whatsoever.
Yep, unfortunately.
Alright. Devil Breakers. The fruit grants power against any demonic plant, not specified at all. I can grab the statement at Zimitorn. No, I know. Like, it would be more accurate to say demonic plants, but they say strange trees because they want to fucking, like, specifiably hand it down to, like, only those trees and that's it. I suspect that Hellboy will not be getting the same treatment in his, because they do have a conclusion section. Let's just call it a hunch. After his original Devilbringer arm was cut off and stolen by the world's best dad. Wait. You already said that up here.
Nope.
Alright. Neo relied on instead special mechanical arms known as Devil Breakers, created by Nico Goldstein. Is that a human? Is that a human creating objects that are powered by demons and demonic energy?
In a short frame of time?
In an incredibly short frame of time?
Within the same day?
Within the same probable fucking hour?
Actually, within minutes, because Nero makes it back in a short frame of time, like after every mission, usually under the hour.
And then, she just looks at it and she immediately understands all of its functions and everything?
She's also on the clock, like he's paying her for this shit.
Now, obviously, this isn't going to matter to the random stranger watching this, but this does matter if you've watched this. Go to the g1blog for the Universal section. We will not be going through that again on this video.
Well, I will mention, though, that they did claim that the demon world and things involving it are beyond human understanding.
Yeah, so that's where that joke comes into play, because Nico's completely human, and if she can understand it, that entire statement gets thrown out the window.
Agnes's existence is an entire debunk.
Arius, Agnes, literally every human in every DMC game, because there are multiple humans who understand the power of the demon world in every game except maybe one, maybe.
All the A-named antagonists.
Oh fuck! You're actually not.
Yeah, no. Truly AAA title.
The Devil Breakers each come with a variety of uses and possess specialized abilities for combat. Every arm comes with standard grappling wire for snatching enemies from afar or bringing Nero enough close, along with a self-destruct mechanism when the arm is heavily damaged known as breakaway, allowing Nero to switch out his arms, damaging nearby enemies, and breaking out of restraints, and activate powerful all-out attacks specific to said breakers.
So, I want to be clear here, that's a little sneaky for them to say. A self-destruct mechanism when the arm is heavily damaged. No. He doesn't have to wait for the arm to be damaged. He can blow it up at any time. That's incorrect. But, okay. Sneaky.
Mangler's like, sneaky. They thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. Although Nero's weak on his right arm at the end of DMC5, he is able to convert said arm into energy to use the Devil Breakers at any time he needs. This is true. Now, this is most likely not limited to just Nero's arm, but that's fine. Overture. The first Devil Breaker built by Nero's, or built by Nico and Nero's most iconic cybernetic arm.
Debatable.
What would you say is the most iconic arm?
Tomboy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I like Tomboy a little bit more. Honestly, I would probably say like Gerber maybe.
If we're gonna say most iconic arm, I would either have to say Gerbera
The Buster.
or probably the Buster arm.
Yeah, like I was gonna say those are.
Or no. The Rocket arm's probably more iconic for being 100% on the table.
No, definitely the rocket arm is literally something that people state as like a reason why this game stands out from other action games, because you can ride a fucking rocket arm. It's one of the things that they mentioned. They're never like, yeah, look at Overture with its electric blast.
Overture's doing its best, Mangler.
I'm sorry, but your generic elemental ability we have seen 4 games now.
It's a different color this time. Oh, also, did you post my DMC2 scans already?
Post them later.
The first Hellbreaker made using a part from a Blitz demon. Hang on, guys. That might be a human understanding demonic power. You sure you want to put that in there?
Oh yeah, Devil has something to say. Arkham, Lady, Beryl, Ava, Alan, Patty's mom, the entire Order, all of Ouroboros' corporation, the humans who built and were sealed in Temnagru, just to name a few.
Just name a few hundred humans who understood demonic power so well they could completely interact and control it.
Yeah, no. Just a few.
Yep. I think Gerbera has more iconic than Overture, if we're being honest, but whatever.
I agree.
You just don't want it to be Overture.
I just don't think it's Overture.
Yeah, no, you don't want it to be Overture. Okay, it's fine, whatever. This arm is fairly straightforward as its basic attack. Battery fires an electric burst in the shape of a giant hand. This is a DMC channel, you should all know what the fuck this looks like. While its break gauge move, Exploder, will turns the arm into a bomb and Nero can stick to an enemy and deal heavy damage. This bomb can be manually detonated. Alright.
Wait. Gerbera?
I know. I just wanted to see if they did all of them, and yeah, they have the Buster arm there, and probably the fucking banana arm too.
This is a Palm Blast, similar to Witcher's basic attack would be used to propel him upwards. There's 2 break gauges, the Stamina Ray, and the... Wait. Where's the deflection? Okay, so, Gerbera can deflect and reflect projectiles. That's stated in its description and performable in-game. Where is that? Because that's kind of important in a matchup where he's fighting a guy whose main arsenal is shooting things at him. Things that he will be able to see and react to.
Yeah, no, Mangler's 100% right here. Yeah, no, they don't have the... they say a launch a shockwave, but they don't mention the repelling at all, or the deflecting back, or... Yeah, no.
It's funny, I see an awful lot of, like, anti-demon items, and, like, here's these holy weapons that'll work on demons. And here's Nero with the perfect counters to the things in those kits. Nowhere to be found. Just crickets.
I'm
fucking
sorry.
crickets as far as the eye can see.
Because I just pictured the crickets. I can't make the sound right now.
Okay, so...
Okay, so
punchline's fine, yeah. This
basically just rock propelled Hellbreaker can be launched off and constantly chasing the enemy, independent of Nero. Uses a hoverboard to fly around. Release start with enemies with rocket power. It's a rocket punch. How cool is that? Helter Skelter, Helix of sharp metal gives this Hellbreaker incredible penetrating power. That's pretty sus. This breaker's break gauge launches Nero in any direction at high speed in a tornado-like fashion. This weapon is made specifically to break an opponent's guard. What the fuck is it even made out of?
I don't know.
When do you get Helter Skelter?
I believe you get it after... I think you get it after Artemis.
You get it after Artemis?
Yeah, because you get Punchline from what's his face? You get Punchline from Goliath.
Okay, so it's made from Artemis then. Because every time you kill a boss, Nico picks up a part of it and then makes a new one.
So the ones that we can confirm are like Goliath and Garion. She grabs stuff. A lot of the other ones she just makes.
Well, we can assume they're based off the boss because, like, again, if you take the rocket arm from Goliath, that's pretty consistent with his power.
Well, yeah, because she actually took something from him. The problem is that she usually gives you 2. And it's like, why would you give me 2? So we can actually just assume she's literally just making additional Buster arms or arms that she thinks are useful, and she's like, here you go.
I have arrived.
Okay, so Gilgamesh makes Rawhide. Well, hello, Kyle. We already finished most of the Hellboy section, but it was basically all gameplay for his items, Kyle.
And no, literally every description was like, as seen in the Injustice 2 video game.
And
Injustice 2?
Yeah, it's Injustice 2.
Nah, fuck off. No, I only take shit they canonically keeps from the comic.
No, he has the items in the comic. They just don't have any combat applicable power in the comic.
Guess how much Teppan Nero and SMT Nero we're gonna see? 0.
What about Lost Claudia Nero?
That's what I said.
I keep forgetting about that one.
The reason they have to composite Hellboy is he has the consistency of Ghost Rider. Oof.
Oh, you fucking kidding me? So he's either, like, building or he can be, like, mountain. Is that what I'm hearing?
He's building or solar system level, no in between.
Look, he's either 1A or he's building level. You don't get an in-between option.
I didn't realize we were talking about Itachi.
Boy. There's a Devil Breaker that charges not only the Blue Rose with a Red Queen, giving Nero full blade Exceed charge. That's not actually what it does. It just amps his Exceed further. Little sus there. Allows a charged Blue Rose projectile with fire at extra power. The boost in power comes with little loss in control as Nero has the brace to use his weapons. This is true, though they failed to mention that Blue Rose gets penetration type shots. And it now it's basically functions as a railgun. So it has like a wider radius, and it's armor piercing. And I don't think I need to tell you that like armor piercing in DMC doesn't mean like I can shatter armor. Armor piercing in DMC means I can negate your durability. Because like almost every character in DMC, as far as like the main ones, have abilities that can bypass solid objects completely, have spatial manipulation, that kind of stuff, or can just pierce you through their sheer force of will. You know who has the ability to pierce things through their sheer force of will? At least through a specific statement? Nero, the description of the summoned swords. So his demonic power can already pierce through sheer force of will. So if we have an ability that's literally buffing Blue Rose, the catalyst that fires the summoned swords, and it refers to it as like a penetrating blast that's being amped. It's reasonable that it's armor piercing.
For context, Mangler's going through DMC5 for like the breaker scans right now. That's why he's doing most of the talking.
All of 4 as well.
Oh, because I'm late. What have they neglected to show for Nero?
They did not give him the key of Kronos or the alchemy thing from absorbing the DMC4.
The Anima Mercury.
No, you have to give him that.
No, apparently Kyle he never absorbed the key item.
He absorbs all of them. You see this in cutscene.
I like to point out, they say grant himself new abilities. The Anima Mercury gives him a new ability. that should be here, even if you want to say the key of Kronos.
This is something that needs to be explained. I don't know if Mangler went over this. When Nero absorbs an object, that power doesn't stay with the object. He just gets that power. He doesn't need the object anymore.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like when he also absorbs it into the bringer. It's not too relevant because this is like composite, but when he absorbs that into the old bringer, he keeps that inside of like his soul for the rest of like forever because it goes inside of him. So even when like Virgil takes the arm away, it doesn't matter because the bringer is something that's created from inside of him. It's his own internal power.
Wait. You wouldn't. Hang on, a little off topic, but Yamato has resistance to time manipulation in DMC5. Coincidentally, the Devilbringer becomes Yamato, which already absorbed the key of Kronos' power. You don't think that's connected, do you?
Nonsense. Also, they failed. You didn't mention this to Balrog, but they failed to mention an accurate description for the Sephirotic fruit and for the Rizulka corpse.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
On to the Buster Arm.
Okay. A Devil Breaker meant to replicate Nero's original Devil Bringer abilities when he had lost his arm to his father, Virgil. You know, a legend. Well, this results in a powerhouse breaker capable of throwing enemies with devastating force. This brute strength comes with the price of reduced durability, making it prone to breakage. Okay.
That is not correct.
All right, apparently it's not correct.
The breakage version, like the super strongest version of it, gets prone to breakage. The actual base slamming ability is not. So no, not that he would be using that if we're
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, unless you want to argue that it doubles his new true Devil Breaker, then whatever.
It's ×2.
Rawhide. Using demonic materials, this Devil Breaker uncurls into a metal whip, leaving little room to reach Nero when he shields himself with this lengthy and destructive wire. Those wires have the widest attack range of any breaker, while also enabling Nero to grab enemies from a distance. This weapon's breakage unleashes a flurry of wire swipes and grabs the opponent in the process. Okay, so it's just made of the same material like that fucking Rebellion is and shit, or it just made of Gilgamesh, which is demonic metal, which might be indestructible. I don't know. We're not sure what's made of Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh's metal, as confirmed by 4, is literally meant to mix with flesh and become steel. So that has transmutation properties. So that rawhide is very durable.
All right. Moving on. Oh man, it's ragtime. Our favorite one.
Here we go. Let's do it. Actually, I'll do it.
All right, go ahead.
Rated from the Elder Knight Garion, this Devil Breaker is one of the most unique, possessing few offensive capabilities in exchange for the potent ability to create bubbles of time to slow down anything caught in their area effect, including Nero himself. These bubbles last a short period of time, and only one can be created for Nero to use. However, should he use his breakage, it will slow down all enemies in the area around, even further, with no detriment for Nero, leaving just about anything open for him to attack. Surprisingly, not dishonest.
I was gonna say, I've actually never. I know your bullets get fucking frozen or slowed down by the orb. Do you actually get slowed down by the orb if you go into it?
Only I've played it so many times that I've never noticed an actual meaningful difference in the actual bubble. Your speed is not drastically affected.
Devil, well, okay, so Kyle or Devil, do you guys have any experience with the bubble slowing you down? Yeah, we're just waiting for them now. Because I've never, I know again the bullets get slower. I've never seen Nero get slower in the bubble. Nope, doesn't slow Nero.
No, it says in the description it slows Nero, but I've never actually seen it in game.
Okay, so we have a description saying that, but I guess the gameplay seems to not fully support that. So we'll just, that's fine then. They're not lying or anything like that or leaving things out. They're just giving us a description. The Devil Breaker Mega Buster. This Devil Breaker is not Capcom's Blue Bomber himself, the original Mega Man. A blue arm cannon resembling the Blue Bomber's Mega Buster, complete with the yellow charge indicator and tapered muzzle at the top to indicate the firing hole. With this solar-powered weapon equipped, Nero takes on the jump animation of classic-era Mega Man and can fire some mean yellow energy at anyone who stands in his way. And just like the OG Mega Man, he can charge it up for more devastating attacks. Oh yeah, did I tell you Nico loves herself some Mega Man? So they actually forgot one detail, which I'm not sure if maybe I'm fucking up here. Doesn't your roll change too to the original Mega Man's roll?
All of your movements change the Mega Man thing, so...
Yeah, so it's not just your jump.
Mega Man scaling. Let's go.
Sweet Surrender. A Devil Breaker meant to soothe Kirie. Heals Nero. Correct. Pasta Breaker. A fork breaker meant to help Nero eat pasta. Made from both punchline and Helter Skelter parts. Fires off like a rocket while spinning and piercing foes with its breakage, being the same as Helter Skelter. Gerbera G.01. Just more mobility Nero. Monkey Business. And a Devil Breaker made out of bananas.
Hey, you gotta be able to eat on the job.
What job do you fucking work at? Oh, you work at a fucking restaurant.
Even more emphasis.
Yamato. Okay, this is the one Mangler's going to have some, no doubt. This is going to be the one that is going to have Mangler's choices words on.
Sharper than any katana. Yamato is stated to cut through virtually anything, even the very fabric of space itself. Let's see that scan.
Which let me go to the very fabric first.
Ah, see, that's funny because it's not its first official description. I mean, I understand why they would use it, but Yamato can cut cut through more than just space itself. It literally says it slices through the dimensions. So I just have to prove the dimensions it interacts with are time-space dimensions, and it can slice through time.
Well, if it can already slice through the dimensions, that'd be including the space-time barrier between the human world and the demon world, which has
But
multiple
they're gonna
feats.
fail. They're gonna fail to mention that, of course.
Of course.
Despite its power, Nero was unable to unleash its full potential. He managed to awaken his own Devil Trigger. It allows him to summon and fire phantom swords, as well as a spectral demon avatar, which mimics Nero's movements and attacks with Yamato. He can also use the blade in conjunction with Red Queen for a barrage, or use Yamato to unleash a barrage of slices.
Just
Wait.
to clarify, the Phantom Swords are not unique to Yamato Nero. He gets them in DMC5 afterwards.
Though you can, one can argue that the reason he has them is because at that point he's already familiar with like using them, and he's literally just remembering using them. Like it would literally just be his wish to use them, because his only ever interaction in DT was using those swords. So even if he doesn't have Yamato anymore, it wouldn't matter. I'm shown by the fact that he can also create his own spectral Yamato. Also, wait, that's all they're gonna give him for.
Yep.
That's all they're gonna give him for Yamato's abilities?
Well, to be fair, they do have a note at the bottom we should probably read first.
Okay. Well, the Yamato was taken back by Virgil in DMC5. Nero wielded the weapon himself for years, and it personally chose him as a wielder for that time. While the blade is shown to be capable of cutting space well in the hands of Virgil or Dante, it has not done so well in the hands of Nero. This may be due to Nero lacking knowledge of this function of the blade.
No, you can't. You can't say that.
You can't say that because that's not how Yamato's powers work. Yamato's powers literally don't work. Like, okay,
We know that's false. He does it. He does it when he first awakens in front of Agnes, and he does it to sake this.
Well, I was just gonna say, DMC4's ending cutscene when he saves Kirie is literally him doing a dimensional slash. You see him cut a space that's not directly in front of him, and it shows the same effect as a dimensional slash.
They're technically half correct in saying that like it depends on knowledge, but like you have to understand that Yamato's powers are literally just achieved by slicing or stabbing. There isn't like a specific technique you need to be doing. Like I don't have to take like 5 steps back, do a flip kick, and then like stab 20 meters in front of me.
Mangler. That's false. Every time Dante and Virgil do it, they have to enter in the Konami code.
Well, also, where are the other powers of Yamato that are being mentioned here?
One powers of Yamato. As far as they know, Yamato's a butter knife.
So Nero can like literally negate your durability through sheer force of will by shooting Blue Rose when he fires the summoned swords. He can create a spectral Yamato with it as well, and like magic manipulation.
I actually do remember when I was scrolling down before we started recording, they do mention Yamato's ability of spatial manipulation as a reason for why he doesn't win potentially. They do address Yamato later on.
Did they mention resurrection?
Probably not.
Okay, yeah, so I need to point that out. Yamato can resurrect you from the dead. And you want to know what's funny? I want to know what's very interesting about that little fact.
Would you say it's a little suspicious?
No. See, if we add Deadly Fortune's interpretation, Nero actually confirms that he was on the verge of going to heaven, which means, and heaven in DMC is the demon world, which means his soul was on the way to the demon world, and Yamato was like, "I'm just gonna yank your ass real quick.
You stop that! Get the fuck back here!
Stop in the name of the law."
But you're just a sword. I am the law.
Yeah, so it's not like an ability that we'd also assume is like a one-time thing, because it did it while the sword was broken, by the way. as he wakes up before the sword's like even finished fusing. So he also states in Deadly Fortune that he's barely like even alive. Like he still feels that his body is actually dead. So he's technically not even alive when it's like resurrecting him at the moment. Well, though I guess that makes obviously sense. So he'd be capable of doing it more than once, and it could just resurrect him at all, and can just pull his soul from the demon world.
Also, if they're gonna give Hellboy shit when it comes to items, you have to give every item that Nero can
No,
potentially get.
straight up. If you're giving him stuff from fucking Injustice 2, then Nero gets his actual items from his canon game then. So
The second Injustice 2 is introduced, it's just like, you've chosen death, I see.
So this means
I mean stuff like
all the stuff within the.
I'm specifically meaning stuff like holy water and the yellow orbs.
Well, yeah, no, that's fine.
Imagine using yellow orbs when gold orbs are superior.
They are. But I was also gonna say, like, technically, he can interact with the divinity statue, so he should have access to the full like shop list of the divinity statue, which includes the Smell of Fear, Untouchables, Holy Essence, and like a lot of other things. So, yeah, I mean, we'll get into those when we get down here, but.
Well, let's continue to his items. Sephirotic Fruit, we already talked about this. Withers Away Demonic Trees, they actually do change it, so that's good. Shield and Subway Credo doesn't take it up, we'll find a new source of power. Absorb lets Nero perform hold. Can also be used as a shield for direct defense. That shield's indestructible, right?
Yes. It is stated to repel any attack.
Alright.
And is literally intended to be a source of Kratos' faith. Which
would be unbreakable until his sister gets taken.
Well, yeah, that would be the reason why it can repel any attack. It's a direct.
Wait. Why do they bring in the Key of Kronos here, but leave it out of the absorption area? Because he absorbs these two for sure.
He doesn't absorb the Key of Kronos. He actually grabs it with his hand.
Alright, whatever. A magical key intended to use the Chronos Slices, a time special device being developed by the Order's Technology Department, can manipulate space and time in a limited area.
That is not what it says. It says needed to manipulate the very fabric of space and time.
Also, to clarify, these demonic objects would also be weaker in comparison to the more powerful items like the Sword of Sparta and such. So if these things can do it, the Sword of Sparta and things like the Beast Heads would easily be able to. All right.
This would also be weaker than Ragtime.
Shit, actually, bro, that one. DM physicality for Hellboy. As a half demon, half human, Hellboy's physicality is far greater than the ordinary man, granting him greater strength, reflex, and durability. Truly astounding. This includes him being able to survive stab wounds that would otherwise mortally wound a normal human, regenerating an arm to the point of being able to successfully reattach them, and growing horns on his head to complete his demonic look. Okay, so he has a decent healing factor and can reattach limbs. It's pretty good. Heat resistance, being born in the pits of hell. Hellboy's demonic background gives him the innate ability to resist towards all manners of flames and heat. This resistance also extends to electricity. Granted, that doesn't make him immune. Seeing as being shocked with enough electricity to light up a city could still cause him pain.
Wait, he's not immune to fire?
No, he's immune to fire, but not electricity.
They said he has the innate ability to be resistant towards all manners of fire and heat.
Except electricity, apparently. He's not... Oh, well, actually, yeah, you know what? The resistance extends to electricity, but he's not immune to electricity. So is he immune to fire, then?
That's what I said. They didn't... They make it clear this doesn't make it immune, so they know what the word immune means, and they're willing to use it in this particular context. So they would just say immune.
So if they thought he was immune that means we could argue that, like, potentially the Blue Rose would be able to burn him.
Well, the Blue Rose also manipulates explosion, so it isn't just fire.
Alright. Pyrokinesis. Hellboy can control the fiery power of Vril. His gauntlet can be charged with flames and is hot enough to melt stone in the Science of Evil video game. It's not very hot. When facing off against Rasputin, you
right.
find out...
Wait, did I hear video game?
Yes, they also bring a lot of scaling from the Science of Evil video.
No, get that shit out of here.
Kyle, would it help you if I told you they also composited things from the Hellboy live-action movies?
No, get that shit out of here. I'm so sorry. If you're not going to give Nero his SMT and Lost Claudius shit, you can fuck off with giving Hellboy all of his composite shit.
Yeah, this is incredibly
unfair.
unfair.
Composite properly or don't composite at all.
Yeah, I do have to agree here. And if the argument is, oh, well, these versions don't directly contradict with canon, SMTs
neither does the SMT.
When facing off against Rasputin near the finale of the series, Hellboy finished him off while Rasputin was possessed by Ogre Jade with a huge blast of flames. Typically, Hellboy will consume whatever area he's in with flames, letting it burn either out of his body or from his right or left hands. He can also harness his fire powers into his weapons for added power. That's not bad. Nero, demonic heritage. Being the son of Virgil, Nero's inherited many of Virgil's traits and a few of his own. His reflex and precision make him fast enough to shoot bullets out thin air. His physical strength... Wait. Why are we getting so much shit for Nero if we only got like a quick summary for Hellboy? That doesn't... What?
I'm fine with that. They fucked him earlier.
Oh.
Better make it up for it now.
His physical strength great enough to parry and return strikes from demons the size of buildings, and most prominently a healing factor that can allow him to quickly recover from wounds such as bullet holes, sliced up organs.
The Savior is not just the size of a building.
No, that's a very large building, apparently.
It might be comparable to the size of a city, almost. And the classic chest impalement of the Sparta bloodline. Nero himself was able to heal from partially melted by the Savior. Is that from Deadly Fortune?
Yeah. Though that's technically an inconsistency, because he gets physically crushed by the Savior.
I was gonna say, if he gets melted by the Savior and comes back, that's just even better. Because the Savior melds their souls too.
You'll be able to argue he already has like high regen, because he still has the blood of Sparta.
Wait, boys, didn't Sanctus say that Kyrie and Nero would become one with the Savior, both body and soul?
Yeah, no, like the Savior merges soul and body together. So if Nero can heal back from that, that's just more evidence of soul regeneration.
He says, inside the Savior, your mortal bodies will combine.
Give me the Japanese Raws.
Virgil's shown himself being capable of completely healing from being bisected by Dante.
Someone get the translators!
Shut up! Most impressively, Virgil was able to regenerate from just his soul after its
metaphor
in DMC1, though it took several years and that is not usable. That is false! It did not take several years. So let me explain this really quickly. Agnes debunks this directly in Deadly Fortune. He looks at the Angelo armor and he says, this armor disappeared suddenly because of defeat, so that it showed up on the seashores of Fortuna. Agnes has no idea what's going on, and he assumes that this one shard of the armor is indicative that Virgil was defeated and disappeared shortly afterwards. Virgil didn't leave any shards in the room when he teleported, so that means he would have had to teleport at least one more time in order to take the armor off, meaning he would have regenerated shortly afterwards. He did not take several years to regenerate, and it is not combat applicable.
Yeah, because if you don't explain that, you now have to explain how the fuck his armor ended up on Fortuna.
Also, Yamato was also in the same, like, you have to remember, like, Yamato was also in Malay Island, based on like Agnes's statements, because he found it on the outskirts on the beach, much like with the armor. So that means they would have had to be in close proximity to each other when it exploded. Also, that's not the only soul regeneration feat they have. I know this is not what they claim, but like Nero would still scale to that, which includes the Soul Eaters and the Neo Haywire Generator, which Dante can survive, having his soul eaten and irradiated, and he's completely fine. Nero has the same physiology as him and is literally a blood relative. So he would scale to that. Yeah, he also has the sword of his father with his father's demonic energy in it. So, yeah.
What do you bet that they're not even going to? What do you bet that they're just going to say, now Nero gets an extra pair of arms, needs double trigger? It's not the fact that he can just do what Virgil does and spawn his own doppelganger.
Do we want to go further with the fact that like Nero, Dante, and Virgil can also like destroy demon souls directly? And I have to. Oh wait.
Holy shit! I am not reading all of this.
Yeah,
Accelerate
no.
development, reactive evolution, enhanced senses, master acrobatics, supernatural willpower, non-physical interaction, and can kill incorporeal, intangible demons. I'm surprised they even give him that much. Extrasensory perception, regeneration, explosive aura, flight and devil trigger forms, resistance to extreme temperatures, poison manipulation and acid manipulation, energy absorption. So they're giving them resistance to energy absorption and holy manipulation / holy weapons. Wait. Okay. So they're saying he's already resistant to holy weapons. Interesting.
Wait, hang on. There's more. There's one more.
Also, you know what's the worst? You know what they've completely glossed over if they're not going to talk about this? Any powers that Hellboy possesses, if he locks arms with Nero, he'll just fucking take the arms' powers.
Well, hang on. I just meant the paragraph, not any of the links.
Well, okay. What are you looking for in the paragraph, though?
I'm trying to read it, but you keep opening links.
Well, what are you looking for?
I'm just trying to read it.
I already explained what it says.
What? I haven't been able to see it. Because you've been opening links every 5 seconds.
Learn to read faster.
No, I have like a second. Stop it.
If that's not enough time, then maybe you don't deserve to read the paragraph.
If I don't read it, who will?
I already did.
I didn't get to. Give me.
You get 10 seconds. Wait. They claim the fallen spear is holy as well?
Yeah, no, it is. It's stated to be a holy spear.
Well, okay, so then Hellboy loses most of his advantages then than what we've seen from his weapons so far.
All of his anti-demon weapons do nothing, yes.
Yeah.
He literally just has guns.
Alright.
With different
now I'm going to
bullets.
close this. Are you okay with me closing it?
Yes. I'm not trying to read that. I'm trying to read this. Back up. That's one sentence.
Okay. We're on demonic energy now, okay?
No, I want to see if they said anything wrong. I just want to check it. You're done. Son of a bitch.
Okay, is this good enough for you?
No, I didn't get to see it.
What paragraph are you talking about?
Okay, so right above the Nero page where he's literally awakening Yamato, just that. Right there. Okay, so Dante and Nero alongside the physiology of the special lineage of demonic power that is exclusive to them. Hold up. That's not true. That's incorrect. Demonic power is, as a whole, is not exclusive to them. I know they're referring to like the specific like physiologies and things that they have. That collection of them is automatically granted to them by virtue of being descendants of Sparta. Yes. So it's harder to argue normal demons would have them. However, that's not how demonic power as like a function in DMC exists. Literally anyone can get any types of powers or abilities if they desire them. They self-actualize their powers and their bodies and their appearances. Okay. Demonic energy.
Honestly, can I go on now, sir?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just cover that.
Alright, demons' physical power comes from their magic and demonic power. Here we see how Dante's reflexes such as agility get sloppier as his power is drained from him, forcing him to use his guns. They're the only things that run with demonic energy. Technically, that is true.
To boost someone's attributes. An example of this is when Gilbert using the Nexus starts making the demon world energy flow into the human world, having set energy close to a boost of strength speed to the point where Dante's attacks stop working. Sure, I think it's fair to say it has statistics amplification. So demonic power and demonic energy are not the same thing.
By DMC5, we are told demonic power comes from human blood. The more blood there is, the more powerful demonic power becomes. This is
That's not true. That's not true. That fuels it. That's not where it comes from.
They do say human blood is a source of demons' power, but like very clearly that's not how it works, because demons who have never interacted with human blood...
The source of my car that it runs on is petrol, but my car doesn't come from petrol.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it just means that like the purest source of their strength, like the most natural way that they could do it, as far as like the way that demons are supposed to, in theory, gain demonic power is by extracting human blood from humans. But they don't have to do that. DMC1's guidebook confirms that's not true. They can gain demonic power by either damaging or getting damaged. They can also just exist around demonic energy and take it in the environments and literally just manifest their, literally just come up with a desire that manifests in reality in the form of new powers and abilities. They don't have to go in, like...
Oh, go ahead.
How do they reconcile the existence of the Lucichias, the Furies, and every single demon in the cosmology that never went to the human world to kill humans? Do they just think there's, like, human blood banks just chilling in the demon world?
Mundus is actually the most evil thing that exists as Mangler, because Mundus actually taxes for human blood.
I seem to forgot that Sparta kind of sealed those fuckers away for 2,000 years and put multiple seals. But, you know, whenever you guys are ready to provide the scans, that there are, like, multiple examples
of... This is where... So Mundus actually got it from Amazon.
Man, those workers are dedicated.
It's like, we're getting an order. It's beyond space and time. Did I stutter?
This is explicitly shows and being effective with...
Single Day Express.
Single Day Express? Figure out how to break through the space-time barrier right now! I'm sorry, I laughed too hard.
He grows. So Urizen being effective with him.
Also, Urizen was a Demon King by that point, because even fucking what's his face, Goliath says, "I will rule the demon world, not him." So Urizen's already ruling the demon world by that point.
Everyone's literally like, "I hate him" out of like spite.
Yeah. So also, this is not to say our demons don't consider him a Demon King. It's just that fucking Nico doesn't know about him.
This also needs to be pointed out. In the span of, let's say, a month of Urizen's birth, he literally subjugated the entirety of the demon world, which includes King Cerberus and Malthus.
It's also incorrect to say that getting the blood was what made him, like, if you want to say that's what made him recognized by the demon world as Demon King, that's fine, but he was not Demon King level because he got the blood. He was Demon King level the moment he got born. Because he had all of the power of DMC5 Virgil, whose last feat before he died was ripping off Nero's fucking arm, a guy that is confirmed by Dante in Deadly Fortune to be physically stronger than him.
You can also say he was...
Also, the biggest point here, and this is like the main point of V as well, Urizen is shed of all of the corruption that Mundus gave him.
Yeah, he literally just pure demonic power.
You can also point out as well, to be fair, that like V is under the impression that even with Nightmare, who stayed to be able to destroy the demon world, that he might not be able to beat Urizen in a fast enough time frame. So Urizen will scale to Nightmare.
After Dante got his ass handed to him, even after bringing Nero, he was not confident at all. Nero was the backup plan to help Dante during the fight, not wait for Dante to lose.
Okay, so now this one's very important here, because this is talking about their weakness, because there is a weakness among the DMC characters shown in DMC2's novel.
Let's see if they can get it right.
Absorbing, destroying, and nullifying a demon's magic basically renders them useless. In this case, Chen, a genius who spent decades researching demons, developed a gel capable of nullifying magic, demonic power for the sole purpose of research. He traps demons there, and they become helpless, powerless, useless as everything, including their physical power, comes from said form of energy. Breakdown of how it works. Demons use demonic energy to increase their durability and AP. Alright, so far so good. Demonic energy is also called magic or magical energy.
So that depends. That depends on which source material you're looking at, because when it comes to the Spartans...
Wait! Okay, continue, but I want to cover something here. You continue.
Yeah, so when it comes to the Spartans and their descendants, often powers that they have are referred to as like dark or demonic, interchangeably with magic. But when it comes to actual demons, and from what we know about their self-actualization, this is not actually accurate. Because various demons have holy powers and divine powers. So why would we assume that magic, which is something completely separate, would be the same as like demonic? Because there are demons that explicitly use magic exclusively, like the bishops or the enigmas. And they're also made via, like, magical processes. Like they're not like real demons in the proper sense, or at least the enigmas are not. So that's technically wrong. Magic isn't exclusively demonic power, but there are demons that have like demonic magic. Where demonic magic, I could say you could probably say um is like interchangeable. It would just have status conditions of demonic energy.
Just wait until they tell you that alchemy is also demonic magic.
Or they're gonna tell me alchemy is the same thing as magic, and I'm gonna be
Demonic
like, oh.
energy is also used for hacks. All magical abilities derive from the same demonic energy pool as shown with the Fury. Okay, so then like this will mean that the abilities would scale to their AP then. So that kind of shoots them in the foot with a lot of their arguments against
I
Universal
don't think they
DMC.
disagree with that, but I don't know if they know the full ramifications of what that statement means.
Even half-breeds like Dante and Virgil follow the same system, using demonic energy for AP durability and hacks. Reduction of energy weakens the demon, reducing durability and AP. Complete reduction will potentially kill the demon. Dante, if I recall correctly, gets drained completely.
That's not actually accurate.
Yeah, so this is for the Frost. This is for the Frost in DMC2's novel.
Well, I would also say that like that's not accurate, but what we're shown in DMC3, Cerberus can literally willfully give up his soul and destroy his entire body completely and relegate the rest of his existence to just his soul.
Also, I should clarify here that the context for this scene is that the demons were literally fighting Trish the entire time. So there's a good chance that being drained of magical energy is on top of injuries, as the Frost literally got murdered by one of the Trishes.
They also were taking forms that they had not taken in years.
It's also stated that like taking those forms also, they don't have enough magical power to do it easily. So there's a lot more circumstances going on there than just losing their magical power.
It's putting a massive amount of stress on their body because they were refraining. They weren't just refraining from doing it for like.
We are at an hour and 36 minutes already.
They were refraining from doing it for like strategy reasons. There's literally a narrative reason for doing it.
Magic power is used by Agnus for healing and strength. Alright, so that's from Deadly Fortune.
This is the ability where he says like time to he floats into the middle of the stage and extracts your health.
Also, I think Devil did state that Agnus tries absorbing Dante's power, but it fails.
Yup.
So
wait, if they're using the English version of the Deadly Fortune novel, then how do they have problems with like most of this? Oh, that's right. The speed, like weirdly. Okay, continue.
Angler, the English translation is fine until they come across something they don't like.
Yep.
Devil Trigger completely revives use and boost all stats via more demonic energy. Is this from okay? And lastly, there's the Savior. A large part of his power was drawn from Nero, who was being used as a battery of sorts to power the Savior, and when he was set free, the Savior lost part of its power. This is true. To quote Nero inside the Savior, the structure of the Savior's body is like a labyrinth of countless demons. Maybe they are like me, like they are the driving force behind the Savior. This is for proof when Nero gets absorbed within, and stated that after he gets weakened, when he gets freed. Okay. So I want to clarify that Dante already destroyed all of its fucking power cells around its body when Nero gets free, but whatever.
And for clarification, the amount of demons that were actually made from it is stated to be in the millions.
Is that an actual statement?
Yeah. It is stated to be in the millions.
Likewise,
so there are really millions of demons that were fused into that.
Likewise, when the Devil's Sword Sparta is used to power the Savior, it's described as using magical/demonic power. Could you guys not fucking highlight this one?
You remember what I said about demonic power, right? How it operates under its own logic and it self-actualizes. So if you think it's magic because you assume it is, then it will be magic for you. If you think it's alchemy, then it'll be alchemy for you. If you think it's holy, it'll be holy for you.
With all of this, it's pretty obvious that their powers, magical and physical, come from the demonic energy running through them. That's fair. This power, well, actually no, because DMC5 adds new energy sources besides demonic power, like yourself and your humanity. So there's actually 2 more sources of energy. Now, whether or not... Well, actually, no. Nero has willpower, right? Because he does have confirmation that his will creates the summon swords.
Yeah, no, he draws on his humanity directly.
Yeah, so Nero has a second source of power, so that's... No.
Well, it's also, like, he actually has more than that because he still has the Anima Mercury. So he technically has alchemy. Well, he can only use it for life manipulation. But yeah, Nero would have demonic energy.
I'm gonna make that rosary you have alive so your dad can be more disappointed in you.
Yeah, so he has demonic energy, magic. He would have divine energy, and he would have human like humanity.
All right.
Like, go back.
Yeah, no, we're gonna finish off Nero, but like I just want to see how much more they got because good lord, we've been here for almost 2 hours now. Devilbringer. Setting Nero apart from his father and uncle is his demonic arm, the Devilbringer. This unique arm is incredibly durable, able to block sword strikes barehanded, along with a few variety of supernatural abilities. He can project it as energy to grab objects and foes from afar, extend its claws and slashes, absorb demonic artifacts to grant the arm new abilities, and even project the arms. Well, demonic artifacts, yes, but it's more like just demonic body parts or touching demonic body parts. Because he grabs Credo's shield mid-combat to absorb it. He doesn't actually just take it.
It's also not just demonic artifacts. He can absorb alchemy in like a pure state.
So. Also, something else I'd like to point out that not a lot of people picked up on. This is shown with Credo, and this is also shown with Dante and Virgil's Sin Devil Trigger. Nero can just absorb the demonic power that you have and take you out of your transformation. This happens to Credo in cutscene, and this also happens to Dante and Virgil in cutscene.
Yeah, you could just deactivate your shit. Like,
that is true, especially with the Credo.
If somebody tries to say, well, maybe they deactivated it, Dante and Virgil have no reason to deactivate it.
Yeah, they conveniently deactivated the moment they came into contact with each other, right when they were about to kill each other.
They're like, Nero, I love you, my son. I can't hurt you.
I'm having second thoughts.
Okay, and he can project the arms its size so massively crush the face of a giant colossus. Although it was ripped off by Virgil, Nero was able to regrow it to not only regain his old powers, but also awaken its true potential in a pair of taloned wings made of demonic energy, which have the added bonus of flight, razor-sharp slashes, and dwell attacks. Anything else, maybe?
That's just the form he wants it to take. He could also have the spectral being that he had when he had the Yamato.
Are they gonna mention all the powers it shows in Deadly Fortune?
No.
So not the fact.
Neither will we unless it's relevant.
Okay, we'll mention it when we get
Also,
done.
I do want to point out. Wait, where's DT at? Oh no, well they do have transformations coming up, so that's fair.
Yeah, this is.
I'm not gonna go through all these sword techniques. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we know what all these are. That's fine.
Table hoppers here. Okay, whatever. Enemy step is here. Then he already wins. Okay.
By virtue of jump canceling, he can set up this really oddly specific combo that leads him to victory.
Forms Hellboy Devil Heart. They mentioned this earlier. Let's see what it does. Hellboy's true form is activated by waking his Devil Heart, taking up the mantle of Rama or the one upon whose brow rests a crown of flame. Several times Hellboy would access the range of this power, leading to an increase to his physical strength or ability, all while covering himself in an aura of flames. With the awakening of his Devil Heart comes the ability to access Hell Mode, with Hellboy entering a blinding rage referred to as Hell Fury, overwhelming his opponents with his strength or Hellfire, which lets him access the fiery abilities of his Devil Heart to set foes ablaze. Is this from the fucking game or is this a comic? It's from the game!
Hellfire. Wait, what does this say?
Puts you into a blind rage.
Are they literally just going to take shit from the Hellboy games?
They are literally taking a transformation from the Hellboy games, yes. Or they're
no! Fuck
off.
Stop taking shit from his games. If you're not... I know I've said this before, but if you're not going to composite Nero properly, don't fucking composite.
Although denied by Hellboy for most of his life after being sent to hell by the Blood Queen Nimue, and facing down the remnants of his past, Hellboy embraces his power to fight off the legions within. In this day, Hellboy grows in strength to an incredible extent, able to grow himself as a Colossus. Okay, so here's some comic scans. So he became huge. Summon Hellfire powerful enough to ignite an entire mountain range or ignite his fist. Okay, not bad. And even called down lightning from the sky to channel into his right hand of doom. Okay, so Yujiro wins. all of which makes him a force more capable of bringing down hell itself. So that's all pretty trash face value scaling.
Here's the problem. If he wasn't fighting Nero, that actually sounds like okay.
Well, no. I wouldn't even say like...
No. From what they've put him at, from what I've seen, that's literally just mountain level Hellboy, and that's what I would expect from a mountain level character.
Well, to be fair, they do have universal arguments later on, so
I thought you meant for demons' powers. I'm like, that's shit for demons' powers.
Hey! We can't all fucking have fire coming out of every orifice. Come on now.
Dude, he doesn't even have complete immunity to fire. Fire's his shtick.
Okay, Nero Devil Trigger. After learning his heritage to Virgil, Nero steeled his resolve, and by that he called Kidia to get permission to go outside with the boys, and refused to let his newly discovered family die, unlocking his Devil Trigger. This form greatly enhances all of Nero's capabilities and then some, including his speed, strength, toughness, and healing capabilities, the latter to the point of regenerating his entire arm from his stump. He also gains a set of clawed wings for flight, enhancing his slashes and acting as twin devil bringers in order to grab enemies afar. This form was even able to defeat Virgil and his Devil Trigger, even after he had taken the power of the Clive and Nero's old arm. No.
There's context.
Fruit. And also there is context behind that.
The context is, this is after Virgil had a death match with Dante, so he's not in the best condition.
Yeah, like literally they were about to kill each other with that final attack.
The strongest Dante in the timeline, who's like a master of all of his demonic powers and abilities, and has spent his entire life fighting Virgil and knows all the counters to all of his powers and abilities, and can hit him in every moment of disadvantage. And Nero just shows up, and I'm like, I'm gonna turn off both of your Devil Triggers. And then Virgil's like, I don't know if I want to do this. Stand down.
Listen, don't make me start being a parent.
Oh yeah, Nero can also absorb demonic energy, so like that kind of takes away from the feat a little.
Kyle over here just like, oh, I guess my earlier statement just went right over Mingler's head.
Yeah, so he can just keep extracting energy from Virgil and growing stronger and stronger and stronger.
Okay. Well, let me try and continue here. While this form does have a time limit, depending on how depending on how much demonic energy Nero has, his sheer experience power gives him more than enough to take advantage of playing times over. This form has some potential multipliers, but they change each game. Hang on. Are they using Kyle's actual... Oh, no. They're using speed multipliers from...
garbage. Well, hang on. We need to discuss what they just said. So that's... It has a time limit depending on which version of Nero you're using. If you're using Post 5, yes. If you're using Mission 20 Nero... No.
Oh yeah, he's right, because in Mission 20, canonically, Nero is just overflowing with demonic power, so you can just continuously keep DTing over and over and over again.
When the very first time you start up DMC5 and you get to Mission 20 on your first profile, it is canon that every single player that plays it will have a regenerating DT mechanic. After they die, after that initial instance, your DT will not regenerate, so you literally have a super costume. Meaning, it is canon that when he fought Virgil at the top of the Clive, he just had unlimited demonic energy. So that's kind of a little bit important.
That is true. As for the actual benefits this form grants, Nero can use summon energy swords, a spectral replica of what appears to be Yamato, and he can use the Devil Breaker abilities in tandem with the state. Activating Devil Trigger also heals wounds and restores the user's vitality. Nero also retains his prior combos like Showdown, Maximum Bet, which now do more damage. He uses the Spectral Yamato with Red Queen for maximum bet. He should be able to fly in this form like his father as well. It should be worth noting that Nero's Yamato summon should also scale to the original Yamato, since that's how demonic power works, and since Nero would only see it as something that cuts through anything.
He's also using it like the exact same way, so why would we obviously would assume that his impression of how the blade works is no different, especially since this is a Nero after 6 years of using Yamato. So he's actually been used to using the weapon for some time now. He just hasn't had it for like 2 months.
Alright. We're going to go through their feats now. Hellboy. Accomplished and experienced demon hunter over the course of several decades. Fought off and killed 6 giants all at once. Survived 2 years...
Is that from the movie?
Let me check. No, it's from the actual comic.
Oh, good. I was going to say, because I remember something in the movie like that.
Survived 2 years at the bottom of the ocean. Took out the Eye of Baba Yaga. None of these work without proper scaling. Survived being sent to hell and eventually returning. Brought about
Oh,
Ragnarok.
so hang on. Took out the eye of Baba Yaga doesn't work unless we know why that's impressive.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It needs more scaling information to make it work.
How impressive is this hell, and how far away is it?
Well,
and
to
what
be
is
fair,
it
he took out John Wick's eye, so I think that's pretty impressive. Okay, so brought about Ragnarok and the rebirth of the world. Again, not impressive without more context. Defeated list of people. That's not impressive without context.
None of that's impressive without context.
Okay,
Power.
this might be a little bit better.
Can effortlessly smash through stone. Through a tree hard enough to impale Colossus. Let's see this real quickly. Okay, yeah. So, alright. Suplexed a wooden post into a Hecate possessed vampire and a demon horse so hard that it exploded into a skeleton. Okay. Created an explosion whilst in his devil heart form bigger than the mountains. And that scan doesn't work. Wonderful. Comparable to Roger, who channeled energy powerful enough to melt the flesh of a Colossus. 357.87 tons of TNT. Comparable to Ogre Jade, who used the Witch Queen Nimue as a vessel and summoned a storm that laid waste to Great Britain. 9.05 gigatons of TNT. Alright, but that's basically just like what? Like content level? No, that would be like somewhere.
Gigatons? That's island level.
Alright. Comparable to Demon Brothers, Thunder, and Lightning, who created massive storms across the world. That's from the animated movie. Alright. Comparable to Elizabeth Sherman, who used her firepower to destroy the underground city of Arcadia, which resulted in destruction of Malesia. Also commenting as well.
Do you not know?
No!
Do you not know that that's spelled Malaysia?
No, I do not! But that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Malaysia.
I know, but at this point, it's just a staple. I can't pronounce things. Blocked a series of rounds from a turret gun. Let's see how he did this. Oh, so he just put his hand up. That's not really much of a speed feat. I guess you could say he reacted to the bullets and put his hand up. Dodge an energy beam. Yep.
Where?
Oh, well, okay, so it's right there in the right panel. It's really hard to see.
That's better. Now you zoomed in.
Dodge Lightning Blast, which was calc to Mach 461. While this lightning was mystical in nature, both demons are capable of creating massive storms, likely making it comparable to natural lightning. I'm going to be real here on a personal level. Unless I have reason to doubt its speed, I just consider any form of lightning just natural lightning speed.
Remember this when we get to Nero's section, if they argue for whether or not he's lightning speed. I don't know what they said for his speed section.
Well, actually, if I recall correctly from the blog from last time I was here, he's sub-rel according to them. He actually speed blitzes Hellboy by a fucking massive margin.
Alrighty then.
Dodge the blast from an accelerator cannon. Accelerator cannon. Assuming this weapon is meant to be a particle accelerator, which fires particles near light speed, this would get anywhere from 4% to 19.15% the speed of light. Okay, that's pretty good. Wait, but he doesn't really dodge it.
Dodging. It misses him. He doesn't dodge that at all.
Okay, so I guess the way you're supposed to read this is left to right. So they fire it, and then he technically moves. But
No,
this
it's an American. No, it's an American comic. It's left to right, not right to left. So it fires, and he fucking misses. He doesn't dodge.
Yeah, he's still getting hit regardless. So the problem is that we don't have
over his shoulder too.
We don't have panels showing us. Because okay, so here's the wait. Hang on a minute. The cannon's here. They say ready to fire here.
No, they have multiple cannons.
Yeah, there's another cannon coming up over there.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, this is such a confusing panel for me.
It's also possible that they could just be ready to fire again.
I've been reading too much manga.
So, it's not like they have to fire only once.
Okay. Durability, had his own jetpack explode on his back while falling hundreds of feet from a plane, and crashed into a tower roof without a scratch.
That's not impressive at all.
Survived an explosion that engulfed Castle Grushk. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. 12.35 tons of TNT. That's not... Or 12.305. Not good. Survived an explosion of an entire underground Nazi base with a bunch of UFOs. Okay, so it's like... Alright, so it's a bigger explosion, but it's not calc for some reason.
Maybe in the kiloton range. We don't know.
So he has a kiloton to megaton feat. Endured being shocked with enough volts to light up Hamburg. which is sweat not enough to kill him. Dude, if enough electricity to light up a city can hurt him significantly, that's not a good feat. Shrugged off getting impaled through the chest and then proceeded to run through the blade that impaled him. That's not impressive. Survived being next to Liz after she created a blast that wiped out the surface of the planet.
No, they've already shown that he's immune to hellfire. This does not work.
Okay.
No, he's not. He's not immune to hellfire. They said he was resistant to it.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna step in here a little bit, and so again, like we know Cyber. Anyone watching the channel knows we know Cyber. Cyber did tell me that there is proof that attack is not hellfire. It's supposed to be a separate type of fire that he is vulnerable to. So that does scale apparently with further information from Cyber.
Yeah, the fire that Liz uses is very unique.
Yeah, so according to Cyber, there is evidence that scales to a different source of energy. So that's why that feat's still there. 1.83 petatons, which, what does that scale to on VSP?
That's continent level, isn't it?
Probably. Oh, no, this isn't the calculation. Oh, here, let me look at destroying an island. Nope.
No, you want attack potency. Look up attack potency.
Alright, thank you.
Does it matter?
Okay, it does, because it's going to put things into perspective. Where's petatons get to? Petatons is multi-continent. So it should be continent by itself. Yeah, 183 would actually get him to the moon range, actually. No, that's exotons, my bad. It would get him to multi-continent.
5A now?
No, so he's 6A. He would be high 6A based off that.
No, there's a high 5A, though.
Oh. I guess they put Dwarf Star. Alright, whatever.
Weird.
Nero constantly takedowns armies of demons all by himself. Scan, please.
Took down the Order of the Sword. Doesn't matter.
Survived 2 fights with Dante.
And that does matter, because that includes Kratos, who scales above, like, the generals. Though they're not going to provide evidence for why that.
They're not going to scale the generals anywhere near where they should be anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Survived 2 fights with Dante, not going to provide any.
Has been powerful demons. Defeated powerful demons with no context behind it. All this shit for Nero sounds garbage without context. They've literally given him fucking nothing.
They gave links for all of Hellboy's feats, provided no links.
They've given nothing for Nero. This is all fucking crap.
Well, to be fair, they did provide some links for Hellboy. They have provided none for Nero, just to clarify here, ladies and gentlemen.
There are no calculations or anything here.
Well, hang on. Here's where we get to the calculations, Kyle. Hang on. Here they are. I was going to say, no, so first they have this trash section, and then they have their actual calc, so don't worry. They're not that dishonest. Oh! Gross! Who made this crevice? Gross! Oh! Oh, it's disgusting!
Ironically arguing
No. Here's a good one.
Above crevice level.
No, here's a good one. Casually kicked away one of Artemis's arrows. Now, the context. Why does that matter?
Even better than that, are they going to mention that Artemis's arrows are light? Nope.
And demonic light at that, light that can...
Overpowers Barrel to Sword. Barrel can destroy wooden buildings in an entire small town. Damn. If only they talked about how hot Burial's flame was.
Throws 2 demons in an archway, destroying... Okay, that's fine. Can toss Goliath after some wind up. Defeated Baal, who made a blizzard. Baal, who is a greater demon. So he would scale above the Frosts, who appear in Fortuna Castle, where he is. The Frosts, who are stated to have absolute 0 ice. Actually, beyond absolute 0 ice, technically. That can just kill you just by you standing near them. Yeah, it's kind of important to have that context.
Virgil, by this point, had reached and surpassed the peak of his abilities as Urizen, whose power was able to lift the Clyfot above the clouds. That wasn't Urizen's power, that's just how the fucking tree grows.
The tree was reaching maturity.
This is so
that was
fucking
the biggest reason why
this is the best feat they gave him, and it's fucking wrong.
cutting the tree. Why would they be giving him a feat for cutting the tree? He was using Yamato.
Also, just to clarify, like, how do you even calculate this? Okay, so
You know what they've done?
They don't.
No. They've gone for a general circumference of the fucking tree.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we don't even see them cut the tree.
I just want to be clear that the tree can also withstand blows from Nightmare, which can destroy the demon world. Just throwing that one out there. Whatever. That's a direct statement. That should be fair game. They don't accept it, but that's a direct statement.
Mundus casually created a storm over Malay Island. He casually did some other things too, but we're not going to talk about that.
You know who else created the storm?
Griffin.
Fucking Griffin!
No, Griffin doesn't exist.
Alright, speed.
Alright, let's continue. Should be superior to Demon Blitz, who's as fast as lightning. Oh, damn, are you guys sure he's as fast as lightning? That might not be natural.
Are you sure he's as fast as natural lightning?
There's about 6 different fastest lightning statements from the weakest Dante in the timeline. Are you saying that the Blitz is just as fast as the MC3 Dante?
Flew to the type of the Clyde fought in a matter of minutes in Devil Trigger, possibly faster. Don't do that. Don't do that. Faster than V, who's easily able to dodge Cavalier Angelo's lightning. Cavalier is able to use lightning from the sky. What? Dude, are they really going to say that these characters never went beyond lightning speed despite getting massively stronger over the course of the series?
Dude.
Also, I don't think that's lightning from the sky. There's a roof above your head, technically. There aren't many holes in that roof, actually.
There's actually an area where you go over across the overhang, but like Dante literally has multiple statements of being like lightning speed in 3's guidebook, and Alistair literally states that it gives its possessor lightning speed.
Just to clarify as well, Artemis fires light at people, so, you know, we're going to talk about that.
Why would you assume that they're all like lightning speed? That's weird.
Dodges an attack from Clyfod roots, can dodge strikes and tag Furies who can move quite rapidly. And what's this?
Quite rapidly.
Okay, that's trash.
That's technically not untrue. They do move quite rapidly.
Comparable Dante and Virgil. Both were able to destroy thousands of raindrops while time appeared to be nearly frozen around them for several seconds. Mach 17 to 1000. Dante himself could dodge blasts from the monster Nephastarius.
Do not explode, burn on contact, and move in straight lines, and have standards of being beams of light with the guidebook. 33%. Wow, they really have to hammer home like all these statements of why it's actually light, but then argue that lightning for some reason is fair game. Must be like an uncomfortable thing. Like, how badly did they want Hellboy to win here?
Well, to be fair, this statement would put Nero.
No, I'm sorry. From what I've seen, they've got Nero in the barely island level, level.
Oh no, they do. They are completely curb stomping Nero's scale in like complete. To be fair, they do have an entire section that's wrong about why Universal DMC is bunk. It's wrong, but it's there.
Yeah, and their entire Reddit completely fucking killed them for it.
Dante
they think Dante dodged this laser. Dante during 3 is way weaker than the Nero during 4. So Nero would upscale from this several times over.
And just to clarify, demonic power, as they've already stated above, does amp all physical attributes, so the stronger you are, the faster you get. There's no way in hell these people are only fucking like light speed or lightning speed. They should at least be fucking capped speed of light by the time DMC5 comes around. They are massively stronger than their other versions. But whatever. Dante during DMC3 could catch up to his sword falling at re-entry speed and could effortlessly avoid Lady, who could dodge Trish's lightning. Not today, Mangler. Not today. Let's just skip that one.
Wait. So is Lady the same speed as the Demon Kings then?
Not today, Mangler.
Because they're all lightning speed. So apparently Lady can fight Demon Kings.
Well, damn, Mangler. I guess, I was more right than I realized.
Lady can fight Cavalier Angelo. And,
oh, this is great.
Lester Dante, apparently. Because he's...
Oh, despite the fact that Dante casually is able to dodge all of Lady's attacks in the one cutscene, we see her firing at him, but apparently they're actually equal in speed.
No, because
you know what's the super sad thing is that every person who touches Devil May Cry power scaling puts them at a bare minimum Uni Plus to low multi. Death Battle is the only one that struggles to get them off island.
To be fair, this is a fan blog, so it's like G1 team.
To be fair, this is probably how they're going to fucking determine the result. Because if you look at their fan blog and then you go to the episodes, they almost parrot 1-to-1.
I still can't believe that with this logic, Lady apparently is the same speed as Dante at the end of DMC 1 with the Alistair. Is apparently faster than him.
Dante could dodge Griffin's lightning attacks. One of them was a lightning bolt zigzagging through the battleground, which Dante can dodge. Griffin's lightning comes down from the sky. Alright, whatever. So lightning speed's consistent. Great. Durability. Tank direct punches from the Savior. Shrugged off and impaled from the chest, as per family tradition. Survived Virgil ripping his arm off, albeit being put in a coma and having to go to the hospital afterwards. That's because his demonic power literally got ripped out of him. Come on, don't be fallacious now.
Phased by animal
Gets flung into a pillar by Urizen and hits the ground. He shakily rises to his feet moments later. Urizen shattered a rebellion with a punch and knocked Dante out of his devil trigger. Okay, we don't know how he gets flung. Again, if you take Visions of V, he gets blasted by Urizen, but we don't actually know how that happened, so keep that in mind. Gets impaled by the Amado, immediately yanks it out and stabs Virgil with it. That's not really a durability feat. That's more of like endurance. Takes a strike from Dante and Virgil.
You can't get durability feats from surviving a stab from Yamato. Yamato ignores your durability. The only reason they're able to spar with it all is because they have healing factors that are fucking broken.
Hang on, look at this. Look at this, hang on, look at this. Comparable to Dante and Virgil at end of series. That's wrong.
No, that's completely wrong.
That's proven directly wrong in a more blatant spoon-fed manner by the special edition.
And yet they still missed it.
Yep. Wait, how did they miss it though?
Virgil?
They have no. Wait. Earlier they posted the Devil Trigger description from the DLC. That's the Devil Trigger for Dante's.
No.
They literally had to miss it. Oh my god.
No.
Cherry pick. So fucking cherry pick.
Virgil's able to completely heal from being cut horizontally in half by Dante near instantly. Again, more like endurance than durability. Dante has survived the following. Completely in phase of being caught in an explosion. Tanked an assault of meteors, which scales anywhere from 199 tons to 8.23 kilotons of TNT. Survives the demonic gauntlet's Ifrits from trying to kill Dante.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Weaknesses.
Wait. What about are they going to mention Dante being able to atomize things?
No. They're not going to mention Dante resisting the particle beams or anything like that. No. Moving on, weaknesses. Hellboy is an incredibly accomplished and experienced hunter, but also far from invincible. Able to be overwhelmed by his own anger and rush into situations without thinking, which frequently gets him into trouble. Although he can come back from the dead and heal from wounds most men would die from. Wait, when did we get back from the dead? You only gave one example of that from the fucking Injustice 2 game!
Something he has to activate. It's not even a passive.
And heal from wounds most men would die from. He can still be put down. Notably, when Nimue ripped out his heart and was able to send him to hell. He's also a lousy shot by his own admission, preferring to not use modern-day guns and technology over some old-school revolvers or simple close combat weaponry like blades or his own fist. And while said fist is immune to pain and nigh unbreakable, which will become Nero's fucking nigh unbreakable arm, his own body is still vulnerable and can be harmed by various weapons, poisons, and venoms all the same. Okay, so
you know how I talked about earlier how Nero's Devil Breaker absorbs the powers?
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Nero's Devil Breaker, Nero's Devil Bringer, is literally just like a quarter of his Devil Trigger that was activated by interacting with demons. His full body should be able to take on all the properties that he absorbs now. So if that arm is nigh unbreakable, if he touches it in Devil Trigger, guess what? Now Nero is nigh unbreakable.
Check out my unbreakable arm. Unbreakable.
What's mine is yours. Anything I see you do, I can do better. This is generally like the theme of DMC in general. That's what happens when you have so much self-actualization.
Nero.
People just become what they want.
Despite all the power he has, Nero's learned time and time again that he isn't unbeatable. While his stubborn and hot-headed nature has worked to his benefit in the past, it's also gotten him into trouble just as many times as it has helped him, especially since he can also sometimes be quite cocky and arrogant. hey, it runs in the family. He's learned from that by the events of 5, though. Like, the end.
He's learned from that, but even in 4, there's context behind all of his losses.
Yeah, no, it's...
I'm sorry, Agnes. Agnes was literally holding Kyrie at, like, sword point at her neck.
Yeah, they don't use guns in the order.
Every time he loses, the only time he legitimately loses is when he fights Dante for the second time. All of his other fights when he loses is due to different circumstances fucking him over.
Not to mention, for as good as his healing might be, it still has its limits as he is still capable of being knocked out or killed. Correction.
That has nothing to do with healing.
So let's talk about this. Getting knocked out or killed. I don't remember him getting knocked out in the slightest.
He got killed, but then Yamato brought him back.
When he didn't have a healing factor.
Well, no, he had a healing factor. He just didn't have, like, his full healing factor.
No. He died from a single stab.
So Zim, Deadly Fortuna hammers this home that Nero doesn't have a healing factor until he encountered Yamato that awakened his demonic powers.
Like, when Agnes stabs him, he actually confirms he's dying. He literally dies in that scene. He has, like, no healing factor whatsoever. I mean, you could argue probably he's got, like, slightly better, like, he can heal some bruises and whatnot. But if he takes, like, an attack that hits vital organs, he's dead.
So what you're telling me is that all of his actual all of his actual weakness points are before he got his full power?
Yes.
Yes, which means he also fights with the intent not to get hit at any point in time, meaning, like Nero always fights as if he's in the position to be killed at any given moment.
Alright, let's continue. Not to mention, for as good as healing factor might... Oh, yeah, we already said that. Lastly, while Nero Devil Breakers pack a hell of a punch, their actual durability is very poor and can easily be destroyed with a strong hit. Guess it's a good thing Nero carries a crap ton of them. Dude, these are the shittiest weaknesses I've ever fucking seen. They're literally just saying he can lose, therefore he has weaknesses. That's not how that works.
Not even good ones. At least, with the Hellboys ones are arguably worse.
Okay. Hellboy.
Okay.
Advantages. Far stronger and tougher. Debatable. Far more experienced. Debatable. More skilled. Debatable. Right Hand of Doom is greater than Nero's Devil Breakers. That's why he's going to absorb it. Don't worry. This belongs to Nero now. Greater attack range in Devil Heart. Debatable. Has some of the dopest non-Marvel DC comic movies around. Well, mostly. No. He had one good movie. Maybe 2 if you want to give him the Golden Army.
Cool as fuck art style.
No. Well, this is subjective. This is entirely subjective. And if we're going to argue art styles, Visions of V has a word to say here. All right.
4 Nero skills to Babeo before getting Yamato.
Disadvantages: slower. Okay, so then he's already lost. Not as versatile. Inferior regeneration capabilities. He's already lost. No real answers to rack time. How many win conditions are you going to give Nero here?
Hellboy 2019.
Man is a really bad shot. Let me see.
Wait, if you're a bad shot and you're challenging Nero to, like... Yeah, no, you're going to lose.
Advantages: faster, more versatile, better regeneration. Rag time allows him to widen the speed gap further and get plenty more hits in on from there. Has taken opponents far larger himself in the past. Better dancer. Bang, bang, point, double trigger. I'm assuming that's the meme. Disadvantages: much weaker. Debatable. Far less experienced. Debatable. Not as skilled. You have not provided objective merits for these. Your only argument is that Hellboy's been doing it longer, therefore he's more skilled. That's not how that works. Maybe more experienced, but I wouldn't say far less experienced. Nero's been hunting demons for over 2 decades now.
Well, that's not.
Well, I'm being a little generic.
So the point is that, like, why would you say he's less skilled? They do realize the Spartas have, like, technique mimicry and power mastery, right? Like, so your skill is irrelevant. Any ability Nero sees you do, like, we don't even have to argue he can use the Bringer. He's a Spartan. Any ability he can do, he can just do himself. He doesn't require training.
Devil Breakers are far easier to break than the fucking Right Hand of Doom, but Nero can just absorb the Right Hand's abilities, so whatever. Devil Heart's size and AoE would greatly lessen Nero's ability to avoid a fatal blow. Give me a fatal blow he can actually fucking apply.
Also, it wouldn't matter if it's fatal. Yamato will bring it back anyway.
What are you betting the animation? He dies by being crushed.
What? Repeat that again, please. Sorry.
What do you bet that Nero dies by being fucking crushed?
Wait, hang on a minute. He can just absorb the fires of the Devil Heart and be basically not like. And
They don't acknowledge that Nero absorbs the powers.
Nero can also just stand next to Hellfire.
Alright, so we're gonna skip this entire like Devil section here for Universal. We've already gone through this on a stream. It's complete garbage because even most of their scans debunk their own claims. So we're just gonna skip that. They also leave out plenty of information, which is pretty consistent.
And tons of context.
Okay. This is without a doubt my favorite matchups to date. Rarely does a matchup juxtaposed the way these do. Both have fire. With how this fight's going, there's obviously history debate behind the fight and who wins. For the longest time, it was always figured that Nero would be the one on top, and I, for the most part, was on the Nero train myself. After all, he does come from a fast action stance, supposed as universal feats. Well, okay, so this is him disagreeing with the universal feats. Again, we've been over this. They're not good. His like debunk is trash. It's one of the worst debunks we've ever seen, and that's including versus Battle Wiki Matthew back in the day. Barring universal arguments for your side, as we've already discussed in the section above, for a while it came down to two big feats between Hellboy and Nero. At the very end of Hellboy's comic, Elizabeth Sherman will end up being the key into Earth's destruction, lighting the whole planet on fire, Hellboy right next to her. Yeah, so this is where they confirm that like the energy is different. Again, Abigail's Storm feat is bullshit. It's not a good feat. The only way Nero could possibly keep up is if we included the infamously mentioned Universal Devil May Cry feats, which were glossed over above. The thing is, using logic from several of those DMC feats, Hellboy also comes with universal levels of power. For instance, Hellboy's uncle stated the power of his right hand would awaken and give life to an army that would batter down the barriers between hell, heaven, and earth. Alright.
Oh, what?
Hang on.
It says he'd be master of all, so the barriers don't directly mean like physically merging. So
Why don't
and that's literally just letting an army in. That means nothing.
Wait. We'll take this. I'll take this at its best possible interpretation and read the rest of the paragraph.
Another character also confirms this in the same Hellboy arc. That can break down those walls that separate hell from heaven and earth. And there's only one objective that can breathe like. Okay, so they're not merging the realms; they're just breaking down the walls between. Oh my goodness, again,
Dude.
I know.
No, if they accept that, then Mundus needs to be fucking universal in their eyes.
No, he needs to be low multi in their eyes. Okay, go all the way down.
Check to see if Cyber has one.
No, Cyber does. Don't worry, we'll get to it. All right, let's continue here. Let's see what else we got here. Universal Hellboy. What?
I was gonna say he had more. So using universal logic, universal merging like this is technically multiversal considering it affects 3 different realms. It's technically a Mundus argument 2.0 with Hellboy's own power being able to rip open the portal of hell and give us several cases.
Wait, hang on. The only power there is that can break down these walls separate heaven and earth, which is the army. Let's just confirm that again. And that army is the only power there is to batter down the walls between the worlds. No, their own scan debunks them again.
Of course, I don't buy the argument, but there's another universal. Even if I accepted this, even in regards to the fuck all context, the demon world has more than 3 realms in it. It has an endless sea, an endless void. It has Echidna's jungle, which is considered deep and vast, which in the context of a multiversal construct would have to be at least infinite. Then we have all the dimensions that Mundus would have needed to create for his army, which is infinite. Then we would have had to... Then there's all the dimensions for like the fire hell, the places where the frosts were as well. We also have like Malthus's dimensions, Arcosax's dimensions, all of which have their own space and time, as confirmed by the Samsara and Boy Islands like descriptions, which they failed to debunk in this G1blog. So yeah, if we go that route, Nero slaps easily.
Okay, so I do have a better universal thing in this one.
Wait, what's this?
Basically, they got a guy who has fucking hard. He has more concrete universal scaling. To be fair, so this is better than this one by a mile and a half.
Gee, if only Nero had universal scaling. They do realize the Savior has multiple universes inside of it, right?
They would never accept that.
Oh, that's right. They tried to debunk him directly.
I want to point out, as we looked at all these features objectively as we could, I want to point out that even on their own Reddit, they were being called out for bias.
Conditions to this fight. Nero, of course, has a speed advantage in this fight, especially when considering his ability to significantly slow down time. However, the gap in speed is not so overwhelming to the point that if Hellboy landed so much...
Bullshit!
Okay,
Bullshit! They have Nero at 30% the speed of light, and Hellboy at best 5.
Yeah, so let's clarify here for a minute. Just this.
That is a massive speed difference.
That is like a 5 times difference.
No. So just to clarify back up here, let's go back real quickly. So scrolling up here, Nero has more consistent and more accurate 33% speed of light and 28 to 18 speed of light. Wait. They give the possibility for Nero to be 18 times the speed of light. Not just 33% light speed. 18C is 18 times the speed of light.
Wait.
Oh, and Hellboy shouldn't even be able to touch him. The AP
wouldn't even be able to see
the AP difference doesn't matter then.
Yeah, because okay, so to be fair, dude, no, Hellboy at best, by their own logic, gets 19.15% the speed of light. So he'd only be sub-rel at their best scaling.
So you know that if the episode comes out and they say that Nero is 18 times the speed of light and Hellboy is only relativistic, even the dumbest people are going to be like, how the fuck is he touching him?
No, they're not going to fucking go with that. But they've already opened the door for that, so Nero should win easily.
You mean Hellboy?
No, Nero. Nero's the one who has the light speed feats. Or technically Dante does. Okay. Any hit Nero lands, Hellboy can reasonably recover from. I want to see where's the argument against Yamato? And increasing his size dramatically to the size of the mountain and blasting the mountain rage area in Hellfire will be more than enough to overwhelm the young Devil Hunter. Hellboy's also older by...
Burial tried that, and look how that turned.
Hellboy's also older than Nero.
If they're having him at, like, these levels of speed, Hellboy shouldn't even be able to touch him.
Yeah, because even at 33% the speed of light, he still is massively faster than any of Hellboy's other feats.
It wouldn't matter how strong Hellboy is if he can't touch him.
Now, they're arguing for AoE attacks, but if you're scaling Nero to those levels of speed, Nero should be able to dodge all the flames, no diff. Like, moving that fast is like blade time in Metal Gear Rising. Like, it slows down everything. You can do pretty much whatever.
I'm going to read this next one. Hellboy is also older than Nero by several decades. Assuming Nero is in his mid or early 20s, Hellboy has experience fighting the paranormal, including demons, with some of his opponents having similar right and left-handed metal guns that Nero supports. Nero has fought the fucking Savior, which is created from 1,000 years worth of demonic energy gathering and various demonic material constructed by the Order of the Sword.
Mangler, before you do that, the similarities to Nero's arm is that they're all chain weapons that fire punches outwards. That's the similarities.
So I guess you'll just be able to figure out whatever Nero's doing. If only there was something that allowed Nero to create new powers.
So how will they get past Ragtime when he can just slow down the world around him with Ragtime by breaking it?
And then he can just fire a judgment cut, or just, slice him with one attack. Or seal him with Yamato.
But the other general abilities Nero's metal arms have, which consist of stretching long distances to snare foes, is something Hellboy is used to. No, he's not. They're all chain fucking arms, and they're all pretty slow based on the movie example. And considering the gap in physical strength, Nero wants to keep his distance despite that kind of approach not being his forte. Clearly, you've never seen Nero main in action.
You clearly never see
Nero's main, even in cutscene, is his gun.
Yeah, Nero. Do they realize that Nero can blow you up from the inside with his charge shots?
Wait.
He doesn't.
Go back up.
No, I know, but hang on. Where's the Yamato portion? Because they do have a counter argument for Yamato somewhere here. You keep talking. I'm trying to look for it real quickly.
He could just fire. He has 2 different versions of charge shots that he can fire. Also, Deadly Fortune confirms that Yamato can create barriers for him that like don't even do anything against like DMC4 Dante. And not only that, but like the Bringer, like both the Bringer and Yamato will defend him both consciously and unconsciously. He doesn't have to actually like use any sort of thought or indication to like protect himself. The Bringer will automatically defend him from attacks regardless. Like the reason he even manages to block Dante's Stinger in the first mission, I don't think a lot of people know this, but Deadly Fortune confirms that the Bringer acts on its own to defend Nero. So he doesn't actually have to do anything.
Alright.
Like, he can literally just be lazy.
I'm going to go ahead and take control of the ship here a little bit because we are at 2 hours and 24 minutes. So let's continue. And we skipped the universal part. I didn't think we'd be here this long.
Dude, imagine if we hadn't.
Oh my goodness. An entire 6 hour... Entire 6 hour analysis. With Nero's Devil Breakers being much less durable than Hellboy's right hand of Doom, Nero will eventually run out of his slew of Devil Breakers, leaving it to his devil... Where's Yamato at?
Where's the Devil Bringer? You know, that thing that he canonically still has.
Okay, so... Both Hellboy and Dante tank their strongest attack in base, not even in their devil forms. So imagine just how much powerful Devil Heart Hellboy must be. No. You gotta prove a multiplier, otherwise it's kind of bunk.
Why?
I mean, you can say it's stronger, and that's fair. I'm not gonna say you can't say it's stronger, but if you can't give like an actual measurement, we kind of have a problem here. It's why like, unless you're fucking Dragon Ball fans who have multipliers, you really shouldn't try and argue for like massive power amps, even if you know they exist. Although maybe I'd be a little bit critical there, to be fair.
Is this like a Bleach argument where like it's like if I transform first, the next person who transforms is stronger than me, or something? Like, is that how that works?
I don't know what Bleach. I don't know how Bleach works.
Kyle knows what I mean.
Okay, it was Okay, so he does agree that he is a massive Hellboy fan. So a little biased, but you know what? I'm not gonna blame him. Cyber. Wait, Kyle, that person's from that one game you play, right?
Guilty Gear.
Yes, that's from Guilty Gear. I've seen that person. Is that a girl or a boy?
It's a girl.
Which explains a lot, because no, okay. First thing off the bat, I want to thank all of G1 for having me after these last few months. Alright, Neo vs. Hellboy, a rare, the one matchup. I still don't see the connections, but then again, I did gloss over their introduction, so maybe I missed something there.
No, the connections are Arm Revolver, and they can transform.
I'm gonna go back later after the video, and if that's all they fucking have, I want an apology for my Kenshiro versus not this fight.
Trust me, the reasons for this fight is purely aesthetical.
I want an apology for my Kenshiro versus not this matchup.
You will never let that go, will you?
No, fuck him. That matchup is fine. Anyways, okay. Neo vs. Hellboy, a rare the one matchup. Once I heard this was made cut for the blogs, I knew I'd make a verdict on it. These last 2 weeks have been a shocking eye-opener on many things. I'll start by addressing the ultimate elephant in the room, Universal Devil May Cry. As an advocate for that tier for the latter part of the last 2 years, I decided to give my current perspective on this tier first before the matchup itself. You can find my
after you found out a certain match was coming out, you decided to turn your back on that.
I mean, the only one we know so far is like Nero versus like Hellboy. So, you know.
I'm just saying, like my two cents.
Is he a massive Hellboy fan?
It's my 2 cents is that it's just very funny that when someone gave him a bunch of arguments that like were just really, really in detail, but like didn't have proper context. He just saw. I mean, what?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you cut out there a little bit.
Okay, so I was saying, like, I just find it funny that someone provided a bunch of arguments to him for downgrading DMC, and he just thought, like, this is the excuse I need. Didn't even like, properly evaluate them with context.
Well, let's continue here. As such, my work will be short. I used to put out DMC topics I wasn't able to discuss above until this page. Okay. A lot of hacks argued here doesn't really line up with what we see visually in the games. Human soldiers could fight demons in 5 without any passive hacks affecting them. Heck, they could kill these guys with sufficient bullets. They don't.
No, they try, and nothing fucking happens.
Alongside the anime flat showing humans multiple times with demons with no adverse effects, besides demons trying to kill them. No, we have novels to confirm otherwise. That's not fair.
We also have context for why that happens. The effects that usually happen to demons happen to humans happen because they're in the demon world. Most of the games take place in the human world, where the demons are taking a medium in the human world that doesn't have their true forms and their true powers. So they wouldn't be taking a source of constant demonic energy with them. So you can't use them.
The issue stems.
And I was gonna say, the times we do see demons flex their power in the anime, it either warps reality, warps fate, or fucks humans.
Stop.